And welcome everyone to High Top Sports Network for this Week 0 matchup between the Kiski Area Cavaliers and the visiting Butler Golden Tornado. My name is Josh Schreckengost. I'll be joined shortly on the call by Mark Flem and John Bowser. But right now, before we get it started here, we're going to run a little pregame interview I did with Kiski Area head coach Sam Albert yesterday afternoon. Following the interview, we'll be right back for the pregame and the opening kickoff right here on High Top Sports Network. Welcome to High Top Sports Network. My name is Josh Schreckengost, here with Sam Albert, the head varsity football coach at Kiski Area High School. And Coach Albert, just want to get right into it. You guys were a playoff team in 2018 and 2019. Obviously, last year, a very strange year for everyone involved. Ridiculous. And, I wouldn't call it a step backwards. It's just like, how do you judge anything on 2020? Just talk to me about the attitude going in after having a normal year at camp here in 21.
Yeah, we're real excited this year. We returned a lot of kids. It was just great to have heat acclimation, camp, and now we're going to have a couple exhibition games, which we didn't have last year.
Right.
We eliminated all that, and we had some kids that were learning, so that was hard. So we're excited now to have camp and get into a regular season for the community, the school. We're having a bonfire tonight, so it's great. I think there's more to football than just the football team.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a community event, especially in Western Pennsylvania. And like you said, things like bonfires, things like pep rallies and stuff like that were just impossible last year.
Yeah, and when you include the band and the cheerleaders, and you have the whole community involved. So again, I know in every walk of life, everybody's excited to try to get back to normalcy, just going to the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talk to me a little bit about camp so far. Has anything stood out to you? Has someone kind of maybe distinguished themselves in this camp that you maybe weren't looking at going in?
Oh, you always hope you get one or two of those kids, We're real pleased with camp. Our kids were real competitive. We had a great scrimmage with PT, who's a very good football team. So we wanted to see how we matched up. I'm a little scared of Butler. They return everybody, and their head coach was actually my ball boy.
Oh, wow.
His uncle coached for me, Ralph McElhaney, great coach. Eric has done an unbelievable job. His numbers are up. He has skilled kids, and he's a great football coach and a good person.
Yeah, definitely a tough test to open up with. Aside from the coaching and what you know about that lineage, talk to me about what Butler's shown you on the field. Have you seen some tape of them?
Yeah, we saw one scrimmage.
Yeah.
So we
like
really,
everyone else.
like everybody else, we don't have much on them. And they weren't in the WPIAA last year,
Yeah,
so
District
we
10.
didn't see any of the Erie teams. But truthfully, in the first game, all you're looking for, especially when it's a week 0, which could be a scrimmage, you're looking for just your base defense, your base offense, and not too many mistakes. You don't want to try to put too much in because you're not in conference for a couple more games. So each week we hope to add a little bit and get a little bit better.
Now, on the field, your strength seems to be your offensive line, anchored by the man named Beef. But you have a great offensive line, and it seems like you're doing a running back by committee offensive-wise this year?
Yeah, we are. We have 3 kids that we look that maybe each one will carry 10 times, 5 times. We want to run them in and out, keep everybody fresh. Our offensive line is a strength. You have Beef, and then you have Sammy Coleman, and you got Big Bubba at center and Jallet. We're pretty pleased with that. Defensively, we returned 3 inside linebackers that are all pretty good. So we're pretty excited about, like I said, the first 11 we put on the field.
Now, talk to me, I read a couple stories coming into this interview, and you kind of looking to go quarterback by committee again?
Yeah, we have 2 great quarterbacks, and they both have a strength. One runs better, one throws, so we're going to use them both. I've never been a 2 quarterback type guy, but they both bring something to the table, so why not use your 2 good athletes?
Yeah, for sure. Defensively, you said linebacking core intact, coming back. What about the defensive line, and what about the secondary?
D-line, we have 2 back. Secondary, 2 back out of the 3. And they're pretty athletic, And again, first game, you just pray that they don't go the wrong way and they get a cheap win, you know. So that's why you try to stay basic and you try to just work technique out of your base defenses.
Yeah, for sure. What I wanted to ask you coming in here, you guys haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. I didn't want to. I wanted to bring it up, but I didn't want to bring it up in a negative way. But just talk to me about how big of a goal that is to get into those playoffs and get a W.
You know, it's amazing to me. You know, all the alumni here. I'm from here, so all the alumni say to me, "Tell them about the tradition." Well, yeah, when I grew up, Kiski was one of the best schools in Pennsylvania, you know. But that's true. We haven't won a playoff game in 31 years, so they have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's important. We want to, like, establish that this year. I told them, I said, guys, listen, if you win a playoff game, they'll build a statue.
Yeah, right.
Put your names on. So we're excited about the opportunity.
The section you guys play in, we were talking a little bit off camera. The section you guys play in is just super tough. How nice is it to get those non-section games before you get into that tough schedule?
Listen, last year, our first game was Connellsville. We made about 100. We were down 28-0, and come back and won. But then, and that was like on a Saturday. Then we played Penn Hills and North Hills all in the same week. And North Hills and Penn Hills are tremendous and coach very well. You know, so hopefully this year we get a couple games under our belt before we have to hit the conference. And like you said, North Hills, Fox Chapel, Shaler, Penn Hills, Pine Richland, you know, where I've coached, this is my 5th school, you always had 1 or 2 games where you were like, okay, here week in and week out's a battle. And they're all coached extremely well.
Yeah, well, especially important to get those non-section games under you guys' belt, grab some confidence, hopefully some wins, and, you know, looking forward to seeing you guys here all season long on High Top Sports Network.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, for Coach Sam Albert here at Kiski Area High School, my name is Josh Reckengust. And welcome back to Diltz Field here, Kiski Area High School. And right now, got the Golden Tornado taking the field. The visitors coming into this WPIAL exhibition tonight, a scalding one. My name is Josh Schreckengost, here with Mark Flem on the play-by-play call to my left, and John Bowser joining me, color, camera, doing it all here to my right. Fellas, excited to get the season underway here. Mark, go for it.
Well, it's always exciting to be in the stadium on Friday night, especially in week 0, right? Got to get things started, and what better place than here at Diltz Field?
Yeah, for sure. John and I, we were basketball players, didn't play football, but having a fine appreciation for the game. And, John, how excited are you to get out here and get to see some football that counts?
Oh, I'm pumped up. I know, like Mark said, it's week 0, but this still counts here. It's good to see, a crowd here in the stadium and everything. So, student section down here to our left. So, it looks like it's going to be a good night, Josh.
Yeah, last year, we didn't get to see any fans, really, and that was the nexus to start High Top Sports Network, to give the people out there an opportunity to see football, even though they couldn't get into the stadium. And nice to see a good turnout here on the Kiski side, at least. Not many Golden Tornado visiting fans in the house. Not a far trip, but not many fans on that side. Going to get the starting lineups right now, I do believe, as the Cavaliers are about to come out of the tunnel. Both of these teams 2-4 last year. Butler in District 10, making the move from the WPIAL a couple years ago. And the Cavaliers playing in one of the toughest sections in the WPIAL. North Hills, Penn Hills, Pine Richland, all in the section. So they'd like to get a couple of early season exhibition victories under their belt. Mark, I know you have a pretty close relationship to this team, a familial relationship, if you will, with your son being on the squad. Tell me what you know coming in here. What are we going to see out of the Cavaliers?
Well, it's going to be interesting on both sides of the ball. Kiski loses or lost several starters from last year. Frank Danino, Jack Diltz, Kenny Blake, Joe Morlacki, and two linemen, Cody Arnth and Adam Ferraccio, all key contributors to the squad. So it's going to be interesting to see who steps up in those places. All those fellows were very important to the team. You have Frank Danino, who played on both sides, was starting safety, arguably their vocal leader on the defensive side, and then contributed on the offensive side at receiver, and even toward the end of the year had to play a little running back when the team got thin. All-world, all-purpose player Kenny Blake is probably the most athletic loss for the Cavaliers. I mean, he was in and out of the lineup for injuries, but certainly anybody that watched any Kiski football knew what Kenny Blake brought to the offense. So it's going to be interesting to see who steps up for the Cavaliers. There's several returners. There's a lot of optimism on the Kiski side. Several key returners at quarterback. You have Logan Johnson, LeBrin Smith. You still have the team's leading receiver, Calvin Hindley. Brock Wilkins is coming back off of an injury, but he's out there on defense and hopefully at the running back position. So while there's several holes to fill, I know the coaches are optimistic about what's going to happen this year with the main players they have coming back.
Yeah, and one of the things I talked to Coach Albert about was, getting a normal camp under your belt, just getting back to a sense of normalcy, getting to be able to go into your off-season program when you would normally go into it, and then work toward this Week 0 opener. And one thing that was interesting to me that I talked to Coach Albert about was quarterback by committee, a two-man duty, and tell me what you know about that.
Well, if you want to break the two players down, I mean, both are very athletic. Both have strong arms. Logan Johnson seems to command the field a little bit more in terms of keying on Calvin Hindley. They have a great rapport. LeBrin Smith seems like he sees the field more, will spread the ball around a little bit more, but is inexperienced. He didn't start playing football until his 7th grade year. And then, he was a full-time starter in his rookie year and then shared time in middle school. And then when he was here as a 9th grader, didn't play a single JV game because he was a co-varsity starter, if you will. So while he's in his junior year, he's still very inexperienced. But when you see him on the field, his athleticism is undeniable.
Yeah, that's what Coach Albert was telling me, that both of these guys have different types of things that they do well in their skill set. Obviously, LeBrin, very athletic, can run the ball a little bit better. And interested to see how it shakes out here offensively. Talk to me about the running game a little bit behind that big line, keyed by Brandon Lawhorn Moore.
So, obviously, we touched on Kenny Blake a little bit. I think you're going to see some Brock Wilkins. Again, he's coming off an ACL injury, so I don't know how much they're going to use him, and he is definitely a key contributor on the defensive side, arguably their defensive leader along with Braden Dunmeyer. So, running back, I think you're also going to see senior C.J. Hepler. He did not play football last year. I believe his last year of playing was 10th grade. I know he's getting some reps, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the field as well after having, I know it's at least 1 year, maybe 2 years off.
All right, Mark, opening kickoff here. Take it away.
The kick is away by Cody Dykes, gathered in around the 6-yard line. across the 25 up to the 29. And that's where Butler will take over. Returned by Lance Slater. And indeed, Butler will take over 1st and 10 from the 29.
Yeah, we tried to get some pregame intel on Butler. They would not divulge who the starting quarterback would be. You went down there and tried to figure it out, but trying to see a number right now.
Very hard to see.
7.
There you go. I was going to say the gold numbers on the white jersey.
So that's Cooper Baxter, and he got a lot of playing time last year under center for the Golden Tornado.
Here's the snap, pitch,
Oh.
back to Baxter, who was in the backfield, downfield, but it's overthrown. That was actually David Graff that took the snap. He tossed it to Cooper Baxter, correct?
A little trickery right out of the gate.
A little trickery right out of the gate, right.
Yeah, you know, LeBryn Smith, if he got his head around a little bit earlier right there, I mean, that might have been picked.
He was the closest one to the ball there.
Yeah, for sure.
And we talk about LeBryn Smith on the offensive side. On the defensive side, again, his inexperience. First year, last year, he was step in at the cornerback position late in the year. So another position that he's learning basically on the fly.
I think that's the advantage of having a game this week. I think a lot of coaches want to take advantage of that, getting their guys out there and, you know, finding what they can and can't do.
And I apologize on that first play. I don't believe it was number 8. I think it's number 9, Max Schnorr.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see these numbers right now with the sun setting and the Golden Tornado with those gold numbers. A little difficult to pick it out.
I got a little bit of information before the game on who would be the quarterback, and I was told it would either be Max Schnorr or it would have been Baxter. So I would guess that's number 9, Max Schnorr. Schnorr in the shotgun, 3 wide to his right. Calls out the signals. Baxter in motion, and we have another flag.
Yeah, another procedure penalty, it looked like, on Butler right there. False start. So they are going to be 2nd and 20 here early on, just 10 seconds into this one.
Kind of shaking out the cobwebs a little bit here, it looks like, for Butler.
So as you said, 2nd and 20 from the 19-yard line. 11:50 here in this opening quarter. Schnorr under center. Wide receiver to his left. Motion. Handoff inside to Baxter. He's wrapped up by Matt Hilty quickly. Looks like for a gain of about 4. Excuse me, that was Brock Wilkins.
Yeah, I was going to say Brock Wilkins, good tackle right there. On a little, kind of deceptive motion there by Butler. Going to be a long one here, 3rd and 20 from the 19.
See how Butler decides to play this here, 3rd and long, first possession of the season.
Got 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right. Schnorr in the shotgun. Looks to his right. He's firing downfield, and that's overthrown. That was number 19, Ethan Treadle, who had a step down the right sideline, but unable to connect, which will bring up 4th and 15.
Yeah, LeBryn Smith just kind of let number 19, Ethan Treadle, kind of just run past him there on the sideline. Kiski maybe caught a break right there. That ball just a little bit too long.
Looked like one of the coaches on the sideline had a word there. For
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, as LeBryn was running back down the sideline, he got an earful.
So Butler set the punt on 4th and 15 from their own 24. Back to receive the punt for Kiski, I believe, is Matthew Hilty, number 6. Hilty settles underneath at the 35, across the 45, into Butler territory, down to the 39-yard line, but a flag is on the play.
That's going to be a block in the back on Kiski for sure. Trying to see the number. I believe it was number 8, to Sean McBride. Going to be the guilty party. I always watch that second level on a punt return because that's usually where it happens.
So with 10:59 here in the opening quarter, we'll get our first look at the Cavalier offense. I'm trying to see who is quarterback. It looks like Logan Johnson will start, and indeed he is on the field. He was the starter for last week's scrimmage game. And I see number 3, Calvin Heinley, out on the field as well. I know there was questions if he would be able to play. He injured his knee early in the offseason. There was talk of surgery. He tried to fight through that, ultimately had to have the surgery, so we'll see how he performs.
And that's one thing you said in the pregame, Mark, about Logan Johnson and Heinley's chemistry. So hopefully at 100% and get to see that tonight.
If Logan Johnson gets in trouble, believe me, he will just throw it up to Calvin Heinley, as you can see.
Oh.
2 guys on Heinley, and Logan Johnson just lobs it up, and it's intercepted by Butler. That is number, very hard to see.
Well,
Maybe
two guys there, yeah.
number 4, is that Isaiah Kelly on the interception?
I'm trying to see. I mean, it's tough.
Very difficult.
We need to have one of those dudes up there with the super binoculars relaying information to us as our spotter. We don't have one.
John, could you walk down and tell them to pull their jerseys down so we can see?
I'll see what I can do.
But as I was mentioning, Logan Johnson, they do have a connection with Calvin Heinley. But you will see when he gets in trouble, it's let's throw it up and see what Calvin can do. And as Calvin showed you last year, he had close to double-digit touchdowns.
Right.
But he is human and was unable to get that ball through double coverage.
That was what looked like happened there. Marker was pressure in his face, and he kind of tossed it up there.
Carry here by Cooper Baxter. Gets up to maybe the 40-yard line.
Yeah, tried to cut it back up in there, but Big Beef, Brandon Lawhorn Moore, right there to sniff that one out.
So it looks like a gain of 4 yards up to the 39, second down and 6. You mentioned Lawhorn Moore. Again, there's another fairly new start on the defense, and when you look at his stats, they don't call him Beef for nothing. 6'6", 295. You wonder what took so long to get him in there. But he is at the nose on the defensive side for Kiski.
Well, and you could see right there, I was watching him. Good play in the backfield. But I was watching Lawhorn Moore right there to see how they were trying to attack him, and they went right for his knees.
Yeah.
And to his credit, he was able to keep his balance, stay on the play.
Yeah.
The toss was to the left side, and it looks like a loss of 1.
I was going to say, they ran away from him, too. So early on, you can see they know where he's at on the field.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a loss of 2, so it brings up 3rd and 8 from the 36. Just under 10 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Still scoreless. Schnorr in the gun. 2 wide receivers to his left. Motion play. Flag. Little screen over to the left. Across midfield. Tackled out of bounds by Matthew Hilty. A flag immediately on the motion.
Yeah, I think that one's coming back.
Yeah.
Butler having some trouble getting their plays off cleanly. That's 3rd procedural penalty already in this game.
We played a little over 5 minutes. We have, I think, maybe 5 flags, a turnover. So these teams are working the kinks out.
Week 0, right?
Yeah, not even 5 minutes. 2 minutes and 45 seconds right now.
Yeah.
This ain't the NFL, buddy.
Indeed, the penalty was on Butler. So we'll move it back 5 yards.
Hawaiian-themed student section tonight. Like that?
I see that, yeah. I saw them out there. They were playing cornhole when I was walking up into the stadium tonight. So
I don't know if you know, but this is the first time they actually had a student section in the bleachers.
Wow.
The bleachers are added on both sides of the home section. Our home fans were over on the dirt on the right side, our student section. So I'm sure they're excited to have their own little piece of the party.
Yeah, little area.
well, they have a good turnout, student section.
3rd and 13 from the 32.
Another 3rd and long for the Golden Tornado. Sorry there, Mark.
No, that's okay. Looking to the sideline, checking his wristband. This has been a common theme, as you said. Several of the plays taking a long time to come in, and we may have a timeout. We do. Timeout on the Butler sideline.
Well, while we have a timeout, I'm just going to tell the folks out there, Kiski fans listening, about High Top Sports Network. We're new to your area this year. We started last year with Armstrong High School and got 185 broadcasts under our belt in that first school year, which was kind of amazing that we started with 1 school. And now we are up to 4. Armstrong, of course, Freeport Knock, and here at Kiski tonight. And if anyone out there is a local business owner or is a business owner or knows a local business owner that would be interested in sponsoring High Top Sports Network, this is how we keep it free for the fans. You don't have to pay a subscription fee to see these games. You can contact us. You can find us on any social media platform except Instagram. We don't do that. You can find us on Facebook, High Top Sports, on Twitter at @hightop_sports, and of course at our website, www.hightopsportsnetwork.com, and staff at High Top Sports Network is the email. If anyone is interested in sponsoring, we can do just pretty much anything. I'm going to show you some custom commercials that we've created for some of our sponsors at Armstrong and Knock and Freeport throughout the evening, so you get a taste of what we are able to do for you. And of course we can do live reads during the game, and you can sponsor pregame, postgame, halftime, anything, play of the game, red zone. So just wanted to get that in there early on here in the broadcast.
Here is Max Schnorr, 3rd and 13, coming out of the timeout. Motion. Schnorr up the middle. Going to gain 2 or 3, certainly well short of the first down. So for the second time, Butler will be forced to punt.
Yeah, Golden Tornado not even getting back to the original line of scrimmage. And once again, will punt.
Like a high snap there, kind of threw the timing off for that play. Not that it was going to go the distance, but still kind of threw the timing off there, it looked like.
Set to punt looks to be number 7, Cooper Baxter for Butler. The kick is off. Matthew Hilty for Kiski. Looked like he wanted to pick it up on the second bounce, thought better of it, and it will be downed just inside the 30-yard line. So Kiski will take over for the second time with 8:32 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, Hilty thought about taking that one. I mean, those are always the ones where you're kind of like, I could make something happen here, and more often than not make a mistake. So smart play by him to just let that one die.
So you mentioned High Top Sports being the home of Kiski football now. I want to remind Kiski fans as well, unlike last year where we only broadcast the home games, all of the games will be here on High Top Sports. So home and away, make sure you're tuning in and checking us out.
Yes, sir. We are excited to cover the Cavaliers this fall. Going to get some volleyball in there, too. Great volleyball program down here. So we'll be around.
Logan Johnson, shotgun. 3 wide receivers. That's Braden Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson, handoff to number 7. That is Brock Wilkins. So, indeed, the first carry of the game is Brock Wilkins, as we mentioned earlier in the pregame.
Yeah, only one play on that last drive, the interception.
Pickup of a long 2, short 3, brings up 2nd and 7. Straightforward handoff. Saw Braden Dunmeyer coming in motion to his right side. Wilkins followed that block and was able to pick up 3. 2nd down. Heinley split out to the left. I believe that's Hilty to the right. Johnson in the shotgun. That's Carter Diltz in motion, and we have another flag.
Well, I think that one is going to be a procedure penalty against the Cavaliers, and both teams right now, maybe some of those first game jitters, you know, you get a little too anxious on the line of scrimmage there, and a false start against Kiski.
It looked like Diltz wasn't quite set there on the motion there.
So you saw number 13, Dylan Hutcherson, enter the game. It was Braden Dunmeyer, traditionally the lead back or H-back, if you will. Hutcherson, another one of the Cavalier receivers. He is out wide left along with Heinley. Hilty to your right. And I believe that is Carter Diltz over there as well. Here's Logan Johnson from the gun. Looks to his right. Fires over the middle and over the hands of Matt Hilty.
Yeah, had time there. Good pocket created for Johnson to get that throw off just a little bit high over the head of Hilty.
So Logan Johnson, 2 passes, misfired on both, an interception on the opening pass. Brings up a 3rd and 12 from the Kiski 27.
Is that LeBrin Smith coming in here, number 2?
Yes, it is. So, as you mentioned, Josh, Coach Albert discussed the possibility of seeing two quarterbacks, and here we are in the second drive, and here's our second quarterback, LeBrin Smith. Smith with three wide receivers to his left. Brockens, the lone tailback. Smith rolls to his left, looks downfield, and it's well short, intended for Dylan Hutcherson.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kiski's going to get whistled again. Might have been a block in the back or a hold. I'm not sure. It was in the backfield as LeBrin Smith was rolling out. Yep, got a hold against the Cavaliers right there. So moving backward, not a good thing.
Oh, Butler's going to decline that, it looks like. Fourth down.
Well, as I mentioned in the pregame, Kiski's going to come in here with two new starters on the offensive line. I wasn't able to see who the the first new starter was. I know Jack Kreider was scheduled to start. There was a competition in camp early with John Drehos, Ben Penchak, and Mike Carini. So while there is some stability on the offensive line, certainly some new pieces there. Here's a punt from Cody Dykes, and it is a good one.
Wow,
Great
real
punt.
nice
Fair
punt.
catch down at the 26.
Yeah, that was a great punt right there by Dykes.
Crowd reacting to it, too.
Well, it looks like this will be a field position game so far. Neither team mounting much offense.
First team all-conference punter, Cody Dykes, and I guarantee you he would have been first team all-conference kicker as well if they would have allowed that. You're only allowed to have at one position. So he was named the first team all-conference punter.
Okay.
But just as solid on the field goal duties as well.
Okay.
So Butler will take over for the third time, again in their own territory. First and 10 from the 27. 7:29 in the opening quarter, still scoreless. Schnorr, under center. Motion. Schnorr rolls to his right, dumped off to Isaiah Kelly, but Kelly was unable to hold on.
I'll tell you what, Chad Hepler right there, if that ball pops up even a little bit more in the air, he's going to have himself a pick.
That was nearly picked, Josh.
That would have been a great way to return to the field.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Chad Hepler.
Interested to see if Butler can get the passing game going with Kreinbucker, their tight end, their star tight end, Josh.
Yeah, the Akron commit.
The Zips.
The Zips, that's right. Akron Zips. We know a Steeler or two that have come from there.
Yeah.
Here's Max Schnorr in the gun. A wide receiver to each side. Fake handoff. Here's Schnorr. He keeps it over the 40, the 45,
Oh.
across midfield. He loses the ball, but out of bounds. And Butler will pick up a big first down into Kiski territory.
That's how you run that play, John. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's their first down of the game here.
Indeed it is, on either side.
Just hold that ball in your running back's gut as long as you possibly can. Fold the entire defense.
Schnorr executed it perfectly for about a 20-plus yard gain. And Butler is into Kiski territory.
I think about a 21-yard gain, yeah.
First and 10 from the 48. Schnorr, shotgun. Handoff, that is Isaiah Kelly. Off the right side, he's hit and wrapped up at the 45-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards.
Looked like he had something there, but then the Cavaliers really pursued to the ball and stopped him for, like you said, 3-yard gain.
Yeah, I think that was Brock Wilkins getting in there on that stop.
Brings up a 2nd and 7. Just over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Butler putting up the first positive yards on the offensive side for either team. Fake handoff to Kelly. That's Schnorr, keeps it again. And he is down to the 43-yard line. Game of about 2. Sam Coleman on the stop. Coleman makes the tackle and immediately leaves the field. Equipment check on the sideline. Not sure who entered the field for Coleman there, but 3rd and 5 from the 42. Schnorr in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. That's Kelly, flank beside him. Schnorr looking downfield, nothing doing, so he'll keep it again, and he'll get another Butler first down.
Slid for a couple yards there, too. I know they mark it down where you slide in,
Where you start,
in high
right?
school. Yeah. But, I mean, in the NFL, he's getting 2 more yards.
Uh-huh.
So Schnorr doing basically everything here for Butler on their 3rd possession as they enter a little deeper into Kiski territory at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, 5-10 and counting in the first quarter. Schnorr from the shotgun. Handoff, that is Kelly. Nowhere to go on the right side, and he's immediately swallowed up. There he is, Beef, Brandon Lawhorn Moore with the stop.
Well, Lawhorn Moore threw that big right paw out there, and once he got a hold of him, it was down to the turf.
I think I heard a couple Beef chants on that one.
Loss of 3 on the play. Brings up a 2nd 13. Line change for the Butler Golden Tornado. Few people in, few people out. Looks like we're going to have 4 wide receivers. Make it 5 now.
Yeah. Looks like
5 wide.
Crimebucker's on the wide side there.
Here's Schnorr.
Boy, he's big.
He is.
Quick pass to Kelly. Kelly's across the 40 to the 36, maybe 35-yard line. Simple play there. Gain of about 3. Bring up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, good tackle there by Braden Dunmeyer, not letting that play develop at all.
Excuse me, that was gain of 6 because there was a loss on the play before that. So there'll be 2nd and 7, 3rd and 7. Gotta get on track here. 3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line. 3:35 and counting. Still scoreless here in the first quarter. Max Schnurr. Calls out the signals. Looks to his left. Fires down to his left. That was Isaiah Gonzalez coming from the safety spot. And just like our opening play, if Gonzalez would have got his head turned around, might have had an interception there. Nonetheless, it's incomplete.
Yeah, he avoided the receiver, too. Was that Kreinbacher going down there?
Yeah, there, yeah.
Avoided him going down there wisely. Didn't make contact, even though, as you said, Mark, didn't get his head turned around. But avoided contact, and that was just enough him running in front of Kreinbacher to disrupt that play.
So kind of a questionable dead zone here. What does Butler do on 4th and 7? It looks like they're going to elect a punt. A little too far for a field goal and just a little too much to try it on 4th down.
I've only ever covered one high school kicker that can make a 52-yarder, and he's in the NFL right now. So
Punt bounces inside the 10 and rolls into the end zone. So Kiski will take over from the 20-yard line with 3:10 remaining in the opening quarter.
yeah, while we have a second, I'm going to show the folks out there another one of our custom commercials that we've done here at High Top Sports Network. Anyone interested, please get in touch.
With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom meat and cheese trays or pick up a delicious Sunday takeout special. Steffi's Country Catering is a Leader Times Silver Best of winner 3 years running. And as the holidays approach, get back to celebrating with friends and family and leave the cooking to Steffi's. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order. That's Steffi's Country Catering. Find them on Facebook.
We're back at Richard Diltz Field. The Bryn Smith at quarterback. That's a handoff to Chad Hepler. And Hepler falls just short of the 25-yard line up to the 24. Gain of about 3, or a long 3, if you will. Hepler's first carry of the night. and that is LeBrin Smith's first handoff of the night. Logan Johnson was your starting quarterback if you missed it earlier. He came out, threw an interception on the first pass, misfired on a couple after that, and here we have LeBrin Smith at quarterback. He's in the gun again. Behind him is Hepler. Quick toss to Hilty, and Hilty is across the 25 up to maybe the 27.
Like Hilty was able to make the first guy miss there, but not the second guy.
Yeah, he was working really hard to spin out of that second tackle, just unable to do it. But at least a manageable third down here for the Cavaliers.
3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line. Hilty, along with Heinley, probably the most reliable receivers the Cavaliers have. Hilty was a little banged up going into the season last year, was able to recover and put up some nice numbers. Solid effort for the Cavaliers last year. Here's Smith. Quick toss to Hutcherson. He tried to bust it up the middle, nothing doing. Comes back to the left side, nothing there as well. And Hutcherson is going to lose 2 yards as Kiski will be forced a punt yet again.
Looked like he tried to jump over a lineman who was on the ground.
Yeah, I
and
think
then he went back the other way.
Yeah, the lineman, I think, got pushed back onto the ground, and that was where Hutcherson was supposed to go, outside that edge, and right there, you're kind of dead in the water.
Yeah.
So 4th and 2, little toss to Hutcherson, goes nowhere, and Kiski's forced to punt again. Cody Dykes standing on his 14-yard line. Receives it. The kick is off. High spiral. Caught at the 35-yard line. Fair catch. And Butler will take over on downs. Will take over on the 35-yard line.
Well, 49.1 seconds left here in a first quarter that nobody's gotten into the red zone, Mark. Both teams, I don't know if they're kind of unwilling to take chances or just unable right now. You know, so we've seen some mental mistakes on the line of scrimmage, some false starts, and neither team can really get anything going right now.
Well, Butler certainly tried with a little trickery on the first play. That didn't work. You've seen them throw the ball a lot, mixing it up with some option runs and quarterback sneaks. Kiski on the offensive side, however, just nothing doing so far. It's definitely been a defensive struggle. Butler will take over. That's Schnorr under center. Looks like Baxter in the backfield, and it is. And
wow.
The handoff immediately goes to Baxter, and he is hit and wrapped up.
Blown up.
By 3 Cavaliers. That was led by, I believe, number 77, Jack Kreider.
Yeah, not just one, like you said, Mark. All 3 were right there as soon as that ball was snapped.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's you're handing the ball to your running back, and he's getting hit as soon as you're handing him the ball.
By 3 guys.
Yeah,
Usually you see one guy.
Junior, 6'3", 260. Jack Kreider was there to almost snatch the handoff himself. So a loss of 3, and that should be our last play of the first quarter. 0-0 is your score. We'll take a quick break and come back for second down. Kiski versus Butler here in week 0.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Welcome back to Richard Diltz Field. Scoreless first quarter between Butler and Kiski. As we said before we left for break, not too much offense going on right now. Butler picked up a couple first downs on their last possession. I believe that was the 3rd possession of the game. Kiski on the offensive side is yet to pick up a first down. Couple failed passes, an interception, and Butler will try to get things going as they take over 2nd and 13 from their 32.
You got to figure in a game like this, you know, I know there was the one turnover that Kiski had on their opening possession, but it's going to come down to, you would think, a big play like that, a turnover, where in a low-scoring affair like this, you know, penalties and turnovers. Obviously, that's kind of cliche to say, I guess, but it seems to be true right now with the way this first quarter went, at least.
Well, let's see if the teams kind of loosen up a little bit. Maybe that first quarter, you got the butterflies, you got the jitters, you're playing a little bit tight, and as the game wears on, you know, I'm sure both teams will loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
That looks like Kelly under center with Cooper Baxter in the backfield. The handoff is to Cooper Baxter. He avoids one tackle and is hit as he falls short of the 35-yard line. Not sure who missed that tackle coming in quickly on the Cavalier defense, but it looked like Matt Hilty and Braden Dunmeyer easily there to corral the running back, and we got 3rd and 11. Pickup of 2 on the last play. Throwback pass here, nothing doing. That's the Sean McBride standing there waiting.
Yeah, McBride's blocker just kind of left him, and McBride turned around, saw that little screen coming right at him, and jumped on the back of the Butler receiver and shut that one down quickly.
Again, another offensive possession and another punt. 4th and 15 from the 30. Hilty back to receive the punt again for the Cavaliers. Baxter to punt. Kick is away.
Oh, no.
Off the side of the foot and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So a 9-yard punt, and Kiski will take over with tremendous field position.
I saw him kind of lining up to try and maybe kick toward that far sideline, but that came off the side of his foot. And when they spiral like that, that's definitely right off the side of the foot, right into his own sideline right there.
Fortunate break for the Cavaliers. And they take over, indeed, at the 39-yard line. LeBrin Smith, again, will be at quarterback for the Cavaliers. That's Hepler in the backfield. Kiski with 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. Smith, handoff to Hepler. He's across the 35, the 30, the 25, scraps his way inside the 20, still breaking tackles. And CJ, Chad Hepler, down to nearly the 15-yard line. Explosive run.
Well, that gets the Kiski fans out of their seats for the first time tonight. Big play right there by Chad Hepler, busting tackles, throwing guys off him. Big gainer.
I mean, the run was explosive, like you said, but then to finish it off with busting through tackles at the end, really getting the team going a little bit there, I think.
Getting the crowd going, too.
Sure,
you know, crowd's been sitting here for 12 minutes, nothing really much to cheer about until that play.
So Kiski's first down of the game puts them to the Butler 16-yard line. LeBrin Smith, 1st and 10. Hands off to Hepler again. Looked like there was a little miscommunication. Hepler was a little slow on that snap, and once the handoff went to Hepler, he was immediately wrapped up.
Well, I hope I say this young man's name correctly, number 35. Nicanor Andrada came in and blew that play up. So if I mispronounced his name, that's my fault. He deserved better after that great defensive play.
Well, I went over and talked to one of the Butler coaches before the game to get all the pronunciations. You didn't even need it. You got it exactly right.
Wow.
Nice work.
A pro.
That's right. Seasoned vet.
2nd and 14.
I was going to say mid-season 4.
Here's Wilkins back in the game.
Oh, ball on the ground there.
He was hit. The ball came out.
Like they're saying he
the
was
Butler
down.
sideline emphatic that was a fumble, but it is ruled down. So Wilkins' first carry since I believe the first carry of the game. Fortunate break for the Cavaliers.
Might have been his second now that I think about it, but yeah, he got flipped over right there. It was like he was looking for contact, and the defender went low on him and kind of flipped him. Ball ended up on the ground, but ruled down.
If he was worried about his knee, I'm sure he got a little bit of a scare either way on that play.
Yeah.
As I said, he had off-season ACL
Yeah.
surgery. And as you said, he got hit low on that play, was immediately tripped up. So 3rd and 9 from the 15. Here's LeBrin Smith.
Oh, he
Snap, and
fumbled.
he fumbled as well.
Jeez, I
At
spoke.
the 15, this one didn't look like he was down. Who's going to recover? And it is Butler. Butler recovers the LeBrin Smith fumble.
Well, it's like I spoke that one into existence right there. Sorry, Kiski fans. But LeBrin Smith carrying that ball out here, you got to have it tucked tight. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that he's going to be told that once he gets back to the sideline. He got popped and just came out.
A little loose with it.
Yep.
So Chad Hepler, a long run for the Cavaliers. Brockins gets stopped, fumble, but ruled down. And then LeBrin Smith fumbles, and indeed it is a turnover. So Butler will take over on their own 15-yard line. Timeout on the field. I didn't see who called that timeout. I believe it was Kiski.
Yeah.
So timeout on the field. 8:54 remaining in the first half, still scoreless.
Yeah, Cavaliers are just going to take a minute to regroup here, I think, after that turnover. Best scoring opportunity for either team in this game, and coughing it up right there. Just kind of take a moment, Coach Albert, get these guys to calm down a little bit, and get out there and hopefully make a play to get it right back on the defensive side.
Now, obviously, high school football is different, but you hear coaches all the time say, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one.
Right.
And it's not an insult against either of these guys, but certainly the Cavaliers trying to feel for their personnel, mixing at quarterback, mixing at running back. You saw LeBrin Smith carry the ball. You saw Chad Hepler carry the ball. Brock Wilkins carry the ball. A couple passes that went awry. So nothing really cohesive on the offensive side for Kiski right now.
Yeah, both quarterbacks responsible for a turnover early on in this one. You got the interception on the first play of the game there from Logan Johnson, and then that fumble right there by LeBrin Smith.
Interesting to see here if the Cavaliers can hold them to a 3-and-out, still get good field position off of a punt here. So big possession here.
I agree with you. You talk about important drives in a game. This is definitely going to be one you may have to circle. Can Butler push the ball down the field a little bit, or can Kiski get the ball right back and try to come back from that turnover? Cooper Baxter fires over the middle. Incomplete. He was looking for number 21. That's Jonathan Livermore.
Yeah, a little bit long. It seems like quarterbacks have been overthrowing on both sides of the ball so far
He had
here.
a step there.
Yeah.
That was actually Max Schnorr. It's hard to tell between the 8 and the 9 on the Butler side there. So I'm just going to assume it's Max Schnorr every single time.
Safe bet.
It's safe bet, right?
Well, Schnorr has the, I believe he has the one sleeve on. Am I correct? Or he has no sleeves?
Well, he's not in the backfield right now. Yes, he is. That's Max Schnorr, excuse me. In the shotgun, rolls to his right. Looking downfield, fires. It is caught at the 26-yard line. That's good enough for the first down as Butler approaches the 40-yard line.
Well, that was number 1 with the catch right there. Lance Slater, a little comeback route. And he was able to turn it up the field before the Cavaliers could get to him. Got a nice chunk of yardage there and kind of blows what you were saying, John, for that 3-and-out and get a punt and maybe good field positioning for the Cavaliers.
Yeah. Now Butler, see if they go on the attack here, trying to push the ball down the field a little bit more.
Tackled by LeBrin Smith on that last play. As you said, long first down, long play. First down for Butler. 1st and 10 from the 38. Here's Schnorr under center. Motion toss. Run to his left side. Nothing doing. Wrapped up by number 6, Matthew Hilty. That was that 28? Landon Lacey?
30.
Number 30.
No, it was 28. You're right.
Landon Lacey, I believe, on the carry. Another flag on the play.
I think the official was signaling hands to the face there.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it looked like.
No, I thought the exact same thing because it happened at the very end of that play.
No.
The penalty is on Butler.
It's a holding call.
Didn't see the signal, but
Yeah, John saw it. It was a hold.
Hold?
Yeah, right at the end of the play there, as that play was basically hemmed up at the sideline anyway. Not a great place to commit a penalty.
No, the play wasn't going really anywhere anyway.
Nope.
So first down and a long way to go. Looks like about 23. First and 23 from the 26.
There goes that long play that we
Yeah,
were
right.
talking about.
Both teams just making these mistakes that are. Oh no!
There's a collision on the play. Schnorr collided with Lance Slater. The ball popped loose. Kiski recovered. Number 4, Braden Dunmeyer, comes up with the ball.
I see a flag on the field. I do believe illegal shift on Butler. Obviously, Kiski going to decline that one.
Wow.
Illegal shift and you run into your quarterback. Not how you draw it up there at all.
No, and I mean full speed too.
Full speed, yeah.
I mean Schnorr turning around there, trying to give the ball to Slater on that sweep, and boom goes the dynamite.
So we've seen 2 fumbles and an interception so far combined for both teams. And we're only 2 minutes or 4 minutes into the second quarter. I think it's safe to say that if you didn't know, you could easily say this is week 0.
Yes, yes.
Nonetheless, Kiski takes over. Logan Johnson now back at quarterback. In the backfield behind him is Brock Wilkins. Dunmeyer in motion. Handoff is to Wilkins. He's hit, stopped right at the original line of scrimmage. No room for Brock Wilkins on that run.
Well, I'll tell you what, give both of these defensive lines credit today. Making it difficult. You know, I've seen a lot of guys in the backfield on both sides of the ball. So defensive lines for both teams playing well so far in the first half.
Dunmeyer came in motion on that play. Not sure if it was his guy, but it looked like he missed the block. And immediately Wilkins was hit, and it's 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. 7:21 and counting in the second quarter. As I said, Logan Johnson back in at quarterback. Wilkins behind him. 3 wide receivers to the left. Dilts to his right. Quick throw to Hilty. Hilty is across the 15 and tackled at the 12-yard line, close to a first down.
Yeah, Cooper Baxter right there, last line of defense. I mean, he laid a good hit there to make that tackle. Definitely saved a touchdown.
Yeah, he was going to score there, Hilty was.
Great throw and catch by Logan Johnson, and Matt Hilty brings up a 3rd and 4 from the 13-yard line.
Starting to smell that concession stand. I think we're downwind of it. We're going to have to get your wife to bring us some halftime snacks there, Mark.
Well, I believe she's in the stands now, so we might have to page someone else.
We missed our chance.
You're working on it, huh?
I know. I'm trying to figure out all the angles here.
Logan Johnson hands off to Wilkins. Wilkins spins out of a tackle. Crossed the 10, and it looked like it was enough for a first down. Great job. Individual effort by Brock Wilkins. He was hit maybe after a yard, was able to spin out of the tackle, and Kiski indeed has a first down.
Yeah, it was that 2nd and 3rd effort, Mark, that got him that first down.
So a nice run by Brock Wilkins after the fumble.
We got a timeout Butler here, if I'm not mistaken.
Timeout indeed was on the Butler side. That's their 2nd of the half.
And while we have a timeout, as you can see in the background of your picture right there, the marching band's coming out for halftime. And here at High Top Sports Network, we believe the band is integral to the game as the players and the cheerleaders and the fans in the stands. So we always leave it on for the band at halftime. I'll turn the mics up. We will step off. Mark, John, and myself off the air. I know you're probably tired of our voices already, just 18 minutes into the season, but we will leave it on here for both bands as the Golden Tornado Marching Band is starting to warm up, and the award-winning Cavalier Marching Band.
I was going to say, I would argue that most people would rather listen to us, but when you're here at Kiski area,
That's
you have
true.
to listen to the band.
You got to listen to the band. We heard them while the pregame interview was going on. We got to hear them play, and just fantastic. So we'll leave it on for the folks out there. Check out the bands at halftime. 6 minutes and 4 seconds away here. Kiski knocking on the door.
First and goal from the Butler 8-yard line. Calvin Hindley is split wide to his right. Dunmeyer, Hilty to the left. That's Diltz and Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson in the gun. Toss to C.J. Hepler. Hepler across the 10. Hit at the 6, maybe 7-yard line. Might have got to the 5-yard line. Pick up a few.
Yeah, it's about the 5.5, it looks like.
I was just about to say, when you see Kiski inside the 10-yard line and Hindley split wide, don't be shocked if you see the jump ball, but the Cavaliers instead went for a toss to their new weapon in the backfield, Chad Hepler, and he picked up 2 on the carry. Second and goal from the 6.
Well, now it's Hilty split out wide, and he's got a size advantage on his defender out there. So
See if they go there.
Oh, no.
Botch snap. Went through the hands of Logan Johnson. Wilkins right there to fall on it. So Kiski's going to lose a couple yards.
Ball on the ground again, just one of those early season mistakes.
Yeah.
Can't execute the snap, and cost them a couple of really valuable yards right there.
Yeah, that snap never got off the ground there.
You took the words right out of my mouth. The ball scraped the ground, and Cavaliers were fortunate that Wilkins was standing there and no crazy bounce. So it'll be 3rd and 9. I keep saying 3rd and 9. The scorekeeper got me confused here. 3rd and goal from the 9. Cavaliers cannot pick up a first down. 4:37 and counting here in the second quarter. And looks like Coach Albert will elect to call a timeout.
Well, this is a huge play in this game so far, as we see no score on the board. So every point going to be extra valuable. And Coach Albert wants to take his time, make sure he dials up the right play, and tells his guys, hey, we got to execute it.
I mentioned earlier that the tremendous weapon that Kiski has at kicker with Cody Dykes, but I'm sure that Coach Albert would like to figure a way to get this ball in the end zone,
Sure.
especially the way this game's going. Points certainly at a premium. Both offenses not looking very sound. As you said, you could put a touchdown up here. You're going to have a sizable advantage going into what hopefully will be the second half.
I think they're probably preaching ball security here, too. Last time they were down here, had a fumble in the red zone. So
The botch snap
yeah,
on the last play,
snap on the
absolutely.
last play, so.
So Kiski weighing their options. 3rd and 9. We've seen a little bit of success when Kiski was running the ball with Hepler. Brock Wilkins, we saw one fine run where he was able to elude a tackle and pick up a first down, but so far it's been C.J. Hepler that's been able to gain most of the success on the ground. Matt Hilty caught a big pass in this drive to pick up a first down. He is split wide inside on the left with Hutcherson and Hindley. That's Diltz over on the right side. Logan Johnson in shotgun. Stop on the field. It looks like an official timeout. I haven't seen a signal. Nope. That's a timeout on the Butler side.
Yeah, they came out in that 4 wide with the sidecar, and Butler was not expecting that offensive alignment. So head coach Eric Christie over there on the Golden Tornado sideline said, nope, we're not going to take a chance here. Calls his timeout.
John, that's a little bit of a basketball move, isn't it? Let them come out, set up a play, see what they got, and then we'll call a timeout and
It is.
adjust to it, right?
It is. Now, I wonder if Kiski, now are they going to switch up their little gamesmanship? Are they going to switch up their set here? Are they going to run a different play? Or are they going to, come out in the same formation? It'll be interesting to see what they do.
That timeout was Butler's final timeout of the half. They used a 2, I believe, on the offensive side earlier.
Yeah, that's correct.
So Kiski again will get ready for a 3rd and goal from the 9, 4:30 remaining in the first half. Scoreless first half.
Interesting to see, does Kiski, if they even get a little closer, they're on the 9 now. If they get inside of the 5, do they go for it? Do they take the short points like you're saying with the kicker? You know, stuff to be thinking about on this play call here, I'm sure.
And it's not crazy to think that Coach Albert would go for it on 4th down. As confident as I know he is in kicker Dykes, we've seen the Cavaliers in the past at least, you know, go for it with 4th and short. But we'll have to wait here. 3rd and 9. Same formation, 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson takes the snap, rolls to his left, and he's immediately hit and stopped at the 15-yard line. That's number 5, Charles Kreinbucker.
Yeah, Kreinbucker in the backfield, wrapped up Johnson, tossed him to the ground. So now you get to use that kicker that you spoke about. Definitely not what Coach Albert wanted after the dual timeouts there.
Yeah.
Now here's an interesting scenario here. Calvin Hindley is normally your holder. Yeah, I told you he's coming off a knee injury,
Yeah.
so here's his freshman brother, Carson.
One Hindley for another here. Let's see if clean
Hold
hold.
is down. The kick is up,
Oh.
and it is wide left. Wow, very unusual. Cody Dykes pulled the ball left, and the score remains 0-0.
Wow, tough right there. You know, getting pushed backward where even if you get stopped and not lose a ton of yards, it's still going to be a chip shot field goal, but you get pushed back there, and they get more difficult as you get pushed back the field there, and Dykes just missed that one wide left.
And that's a big stop, obviously, for Butler, but the last 2 times their defense has been in the red zone, they've allowed 0 points, obviously. They've made 2 big stops. So
Yeah.
I was watching the freshman Carson Hindley on the hold. It looked clean.
Yeah.
You know, unless he had a wrong tilt on it, but he was able to get it down set in time. But unfortunately, Dykes misfired to the left, and here's Butler, 1st and 10. Schnorr. No, that is number 7, Cooper Baxter, and he's able to get up to the 30-yard line right at the 1st down marker, and indeed it is, looked like they were going to move, and yes, it is a 1st down for Butler.
A big tackle right there by Logan Johnson, tripped him up. Otherwise, I think Cooper Baxter would have been off to the races.
Baxter came out with a full head of steam, and as you said, was just tripped up at the 1st down line. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line, 3:10 remaining. Two wide receivers on each side. And there's a flag on the play. That was Kiski, number 5.
Yeah, that's
Carter
encroachment.
Diltz.
Yeah, Diltz came up to the line, into the neutral zone there, got his head into it, it looked like, or maybe half a foot, and couldn't get back, obviously. Called for encroachment.
Now, do they call that as soon as you jump in high school, or can you get back? How does that?
We have official
I
behind
don't
us,
even
so if
know.
you guys want to take over, I can.
I don't know. I know in the NFL you can get back.
Yeah, you
That's
can
why
get
I
back,
asked,
but I'm
so.
pretty sure in high school, once you violate the neutral zone as a defender, it's an automatic encroachment.
Okay.
We'll find out here.
Yeah. Crack research team here.
Cooper Baxter, direct snap, takes it to the right side there. Not much. Going to be a 3rd down here, probably about 4.
So only here at High Top Sports will you get an official in the booth with you. We have a WPIAA official behind us, and he said once you cross, that's it. So
Inside information. I like
inside
it.
information.
That's how we do it. Always got the scoop here on High Top Sports Network. Appreciate that.
2nd and 4 from the 37. Pass over the middle is caught. That is Charles Kreinbucker.
There's a flag in the backfield right there, Mark. Let's see what that's about. Don't know if it was a late hit, maybe.
Braden Dunmeyer looking to his sideline. Trying to explain himself to the kids.
Chop
coaches.
block.
Chop
No.
block.
Okay.
Wow, Butler taking themselves backward once again.
And maybe that's what Dunmeyer was trying to say. He was walking back toward the huddle. I saw him talking to the coaches, and looks like he was hobbled a bit. Maybe he was the one that got chopped on the play.
Guys, I've got a quick score update here from the other games you can find on High Top Sports Network. After 1 quarter at Freeport, similar to here, scoreless. between the Yellow Jackets and Riverhawks. And at Knock, defending state champion Central Valley up 21-0 on the Knights after one.
Surprising to hear the Armstrong score be 0-0 with the prolific offense that they have over there.
Yeah.
And all-world quarterback Caden Olson. Here's Baxter, fires to his left, in and out of the hands of Kelly.
And Braden Dunmeyer right there creeping. He was ready to either get a hit or get a tip ball right there, and it just kind of got tipped out of his direction, but he had sniffed that one out.
Number 4 on number 4, as you said, Dunmeyer all over that play. 3rd and 23. 2:03 remaining here in the second quarter. So if Kiski's able to hold here, they should get decent field position, I believe, with 1 timeout remaining. Back to pass, looking to his right. Fires incomplete. Big number 72, Sam Coleman, in on the play there. Almost had a sack.
I think we got a Cavalier down here. It looks like number 5, Carter Diltz.
That was Mac Schnorr. Back to pass. He was waiting and waiting. Kept rolling out. Sam Coleman was right on top of him. Incomplete, and indeed that is Carter Diltz down on the field.
Well, give Big Sam Coleman credit, man. Never gave up on that play and threw his blocker aside and then turned up the jets as much as a big man can to get in there and put that pressure on and forcing that ball to be thrown away. I always love to see a defensive lineman beat a guy inside, never give up on a play, especially when it rolls away from his side.
6'2", 260, senior Sam Coleman. Looking very nimble on that play.
But, you know, you watch enough football, you'll see, especially at the high school level, you'll see, hey, that play's rolling away from me. I'm getting blocked up. Whatever, you know. But he got through his blocker and then pursued and got that pressure on and basically forced that into an incompletion.
So as we await the injury, we'll await the 4th and 23. 1:56 remaining in the second quarter. Still scoreless. Kiski had our best chance to score today.
Yeah.
They were inside the 10-yard line. Missed field goal. And not much else going on for Butler on the offensive side. They crossed midfield 1 time early in the second quarter. Was maybe able to get to roughly about the 40-yard line, but both offenses, not much going on here.
Well, Diltz is up here, and he's walking off under his own power. Maybe a Charlie horse.
I didn't see what happened to him. It's good
Yeah.
to see him get back up.
Maybe a cramp. Who knows? I mean, it's sweltering down here.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. I think of myself trying to play on this field right now. Oh, boy. Ambulance would be
A
out.
little toasty.
Yeah. He's kind of holding that hamstring, it looks like, as Diltz comes off the field here. So hopefully just a cramp. Hopefully that young man is okay.
So Hilty back again for the Cavaliers to receive the punt. The kick is off. Pretty good kick. Fair catch by Hilty at the 49-yard line of Butler, where the Cavaliers will take over with 1:49 remaining in the first half.
Well, 1:49 left here, fellas, and Kiski going to have to hit a couple of decent chunk plays to get down there, even if we're going to try and get into field goal position again for Cody Dykes and get him another shot to finally get some points on the board in this game. Cavaliers are going to have to hit a couple decent-sized plays.
You saw the big play came from Chad Hepler via the run. A couple pass catches by Matt Hilty, but the Cavaliers' leading receiver, Calvin Heinley, has been quiet the whole first half. Logan Johnson tried to go to him in double coverage on the opening possession, but Heinley has yet to be targeted since then.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it right now.
That's a fair bet that you would make there. Here's Logan Johnson. Looking to his right, decides no.
Oh.
Looked like he was going to take off over the middle, and indeed he looked for his favorite target, Heinley. The pass was a little bit too low, which brings up second down.
Well, he had him right there, cutting across the middle of the field, just kind of short-armed it right there,
yeah.
did Johnson, after he avoided the initial rush I think he did have some yardage there if he did take off.
I thought he was going to take off. I thought he had a step to take off and at least maybe get a first down or get out of bounds. Stop the clock.
So, Josh, you mentioned, or I mentioned it would be a safe bet to see Logan Johnson go to Calvin Hindley. I'd say you're going to get a heavy dose of it here. Unless Hilty's able to find some room there in the slot. Here's Johnson looking to his right. He is looking over the middle, but that's Dylan Hutcherson, not Matt Hilty. Hutcherson avoids a tackle.
They're going to get a block in the back right there on Gonzalez, and that's going to kill that play. But I'll tell you what, Hindley was open down the field on this near sideline. And just a tough penalty to take right there for the Cavaliers.
Dylan made a nice move once he caught the ball there to make the first guy miss, and even got out of bounds too, but then not to be.
Sometimes you're so anxious out there to help spring your receiver, and he really didn't need it at that point.
That's a good point, Josh. He really didn't need it. Even if they get the first down there, he got able to get out of bounds. He still had a nice gain. So
that's sophomore Isaiah Gonzalez. He started last year on the defensive side, getting his first looks here on offense. And tough break on the penalty here. Many in the stands here in front of us didn't like that call.
Not a popular call in front of us here.
No, for sure. And you know what? It's the right call. That's why it's not popular, because it was the right call right there. Gonzalez didn't need to make contact with the defender.
So it's going to bring 2nd and 7 from the 47-yard line. Here's Logan Johnson in the shotgun. Hepler behind him. Johnson overthrows Hilty coming out of the backfield. It's probably a good thing he did, because right there waiting was Max Schnorr. Schnorr immediately broke on that play. And if Hilty would have caught that, he would have had to do some nifty footwork to get out of a big hit.
It would have been impressive, yeah.
1:22 remaining in the second quarter. Scoreless so far. 3rd and 6 from the 47-yard line. Here's Hindley, Hutcherson, and Hilty split wide nearest to us. I believe that's Gonzalez on the left side. Logan Johnson in the shotgun, rolls to his right, fires to Hilty. Hilty avoids the tackle at the 43, crosses the 40, and is able to bang his way down to almost the 35-yard line. Big first down for the Cavaliers.
Huge first down right there. Great effort by Hilty, and that stops the clock in high school while they reset the chains.
1:10 and counting. The Cavaliers have one timeout. 3 wide to the left now. Gonzalez to his right. That's Johnson going to his left, rolling. Nothing there. Cuts back to his right. Over the middle, 25-20. Great job by Gonzalez with the block and a stiff arm. Logan Johnson with a tremendous run down to the 11-yard line.
How about the stiff arm at the end of that play by Logan Johnson?
I mean, there's a couple different highlights on that run. First of all, to break the tackle up front here, and then you said the stiff arm to finish it. So, wow, what a play.
I'll tell you, that was 98% Logan Johnson, but you got to give sophomore Isaiah Gonzalez a little bit of credit there at the end. He just got called for the penalty for blocking the back, and there he was again blocking downfield. He was able to help Johnson pick up a few extra yards as the Cavaliers move the ball down to the 11-yard line. 1st and 10. Direct snap to Wilkins. Wilkins plows his way inside the 7, maybe to the 6.
It's leaning on the 5-yard line, but here's the thing. Cavaliers can record another first down here. They're going to use their timeout, final timeout right here.
So the final timeout is called with 32.9 seconds. 2nd, and it looks to be about 3, a long 3. As you said, the Cavaliers can pick up a first down at roughly just inside the 2-yard line.
Well, we've been down here before, and I'm sure that's what Coach Albert is telling his guys. Look, guys, we've been down here before, And we don't want to settle for a field goal attempt, especially now. No more timeouts left. It'll be tough to stop that clock. So
the last time down we saw a botched snap by the Cavaliers. This time it was a direct snap to Wilkins. No quarterback here. And that play seemed to work as Wilkins was able to take it directly and bowl his way to the 5-yard line. That's something they did a lot last year when Kenny Blake got injured. Brock Wilkins was forced to come into the backfield, and many of the run plays were direct snaps, and he would just try to, find a hole right or left of center and get as many as he could. Those Cavalier fans that remember the Fox Chapel game, I believe that was the first game that Wilkins came in, and it was run after run, pound up the middle. Very impressive game by Brock Wilkins. So here we go, 2nd and 3 from the 5. Logan Johnson's back in. Looks to his right. Jump ball to Hindley, in and out of his hands. Would have been a tough catch to keep his feet in bounds. Looked to be a little wide, but it was in and out of the hands of Hindley.
I think if Johnson maybe gets rid of that ball just a split second quicker, Hindley might have had a little bit more space there on the sideline to work with. But I saw that when they were lining up. I thought, here comes that jump ball that you were talking about.
It's a little bit questionable play with a lot of traffic on the short side of the field over there,
right.
And especially after a direct snap to Wilkins where he was able to plow his way in.
You got to think it's going to be something similar here, though, now because they're out of timeouts. It's
Right.
3rd down. So
Correct.
It's got to be to the end zone,
Correct.
basically.
So here's Hindley on the short side by himself. Logan Johnson looks there, tries the middle.
Flips it.
Couple nifty moves.
Wow.
Logan Johnson, very, very impressive footwork, sidesteps a few would-be tacklers, and he glides into the end zone for a first touchdown of the game. Logan Johnson with a 5-yard touchdown run, and the Cavaliers lead 6-0.
Wow, Logan Johnson just leg work this entire drive after the Cavaliers got the ball back with under 2 minutes to go. A couple of really, really impressive runs by that young man, and the first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, great effort there by Johnson.
Logan Johnson looked to his right, looked like he wanted that jump ball to Hindley, but just as quick as he looked to the right, he cut his way up the middle of the field, eluded a few tacklers, and found his way into the end zone. Kiski leads 6-0. Here's Dykes back to kick. Young Carson set for the hold. Snap, hold is down, and this time the extra point is good. So the Cavaliers lead 7-0 with 23.5 seconds to go in our opening half.
Well, as I just said, that entire drive powered by the legs of Johnson right there. Just some tremendous elusiveness shown by the Kiski quarterback, and that's 7 points, huge before halftime in a game like this, low scoring, hard fought in the trenches, John.
And you think there, Josh, with that play there, it's 3rd down. He's running right up the middle of the field. Like Mark said, they're out of timeouts. I mean, it might be halftime if he doesn't get in there. He has to basically score there at that point in time. They're also got to run the kicker on and try and get a field goal. But like you said, great play, great effort to get the 6 points on the board.
So we talk about the two quarterbacks and LeBrin Smith being the, quote, more athletic one, but Logan Johnson certainly not short of athleticism.
Yeah.
And showed us with 2 impressive runs on that drive. Basically, it was the Logan Johnson show. A big run a few plays before the touchdown, and here we go. 7-0, Kiski leads.
Big points right there before we head to the locker room.
Huge.
Here's Cody Dykes, set to kick. Kicks a low liner. Caught at the 4-yard line by number 1. That's Sean Slater.
Loose
He's
ball.
hit at the
Ball's
29.
on the ground.
Ball's on the ground. Big pile up. Players pulling and pushing each other. Waiting for a signal here. Oh, and it's Butler ball.
Well, I got lucky right there. Slater coughed that one up, and that would have been, maybe one play and get Dykes on for a field goal, maybe something to the sideline, or just try a long field goal. Butler able to get it back here, and pretty sure they'll just kneel on it here and head to the locker room down a touchdown.
I almost ruled Kiski ball. That's where my reaction of came from, because along with the Kiski sideline, I thought indeed I saw a blue jersey on top of that ball, but fortunately for Butler, they were able to come up with it. 1st and 10 with 14 seconds to go, and indeed you are right. Butler kneels on the ball, and that'll be our score at halftime. 7-0, the Cavaliers lead. As Josh said, make sure you stay tuned. High Top Sports, a halftime of all of our broadcasts, as we will show you arguably the most important part of the game.
Yes, I mean,
the bands, right?
There are people out there that have come up to me and said, hey, we really appreciate you leaving the band on. We'd rather have the band than your commentary. I mean, I know it was in good fun, but it's important. All these kids out here making the atmosphere what it is on a Friday night. Doesn't matter if they have a jersey on or a marching band uniform on and an instrument in their hand or, color line, anything like that. Student section, that's what the Friday nights we missed so much last year in 2020.
I'll tell you this, I only live about 5 minutes from the stadium, and every time I pick up my boys from whatever practice it is, the band's still out there. And when I go home, I can still hear the band playing. So to your point, you do got to give the guys and gals a lot of credit, because whether they're wearing a jersey or wearing a uniform, if you will, they're all putting in work. So enjoy the halftime entertainment.
We proudly present for your halftime entertainment the pride of Butler, the Golden Tornado Marching Band. Under the field direction of drum majors Courtney Adamowski, Griffin Holcomb, and Casey Zerzullo, the band will open its halftime show with that great Kansas classic, Carry On Wayward Son. Ladies and gentlemen, the Butler Golden Tornado Marching Band. The band will now feature our Sequent flag team with co-captains Marissa Patrica and Marissa Tragi, while swinging to a song from the Love Dogs called Lock You Up. Now, don't go anywhere, even as the band plays Run, Run Away from the band Slade, while featuring our Sequent dance team under co-captains Aaliyah Bednards and Bridget Fezco. The band will close out tonight's performance by transporting us back to the Civil War era and reviving our sense of pride and patriotism as they perform their version of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Butler Golden Tornado Marching Band. The band is directed by Jeff Croner and his associates, Kayla Karenbauer, Todd Karenbauer, and Lou Croner. The Sequonet Dance and Flag Team directors are Shannon Dorsey and Sarah McClafferty. This has been John Boozle, the voice of the Golden Tornado Marching Band. Thank you for your kind attention to tonight's performance and your continued support of music education.
Now entering the field is the 2021 Kiski Area High School Marching Band. The Kiski Band is under the direction of Mr. Sean Pitt and is assisted by Mr. Stephen Pucheski. The drum majors for the Big K Marching Band this year are Camille Graham and Gianna Cross. The color guard captains are Macy Auden, Abby Mortensen, and Mackenzie Cooper. This evening, the Kiski Area Marching Band will be performing their first and second productions of their show entitled Beneath the Shifting Sands. The music we hear tonight comes from various sources, including a track selection named Crystal Pyramid from the Cirque du Soleil show Toto, and a piece called Hajj by the composer Stephen Malala. Several instrumentalists are featured in our show, starting with Lucas Redney on guitar, then David Shevlin on alto saxophone, and Cooper Slicka on soprano saxophone. Cooper also performs throughout our second production. Our soloists and other musicians are supported by our world-class color guard performers who add a stunning visual package to our exciting show. The Kiski Area Marching Band could not be more excited to be performing more this year, not only here at the Big K for all of you, our team and our home crowd, but also at a full set of competitions this season. Join us Saturday, September 11th for our annual Kiski Band Festival, featuring 10 bands from around the surrounding Pittsburgh area. Our biggest event of the season will occur October 9th in College Park, Maryland, where the band will compete in the Bands of America Regional Championship. Just a heads up for tonight's performance. This evening, unfortunately, due to rain for our last 4 of our 5 recent performances, we'll be using a metronome during our performance to ensure the safety of our members. As you will see, there is a high demand with the show. And if you happen to be one of my neighbors that live in Moreland Manor, the sound of the Dr. Beat will definitely be familiar to you. We'll be back in a couple minutes when the band is ready. And now, without further ado, here's the first two productions of this year's show entitled Beneath the Shifting Sands. Area High School Marching Band. On behalf of the entire marching band and instrumental boosters, we would like to thank you for watching our performance this evening and look forward to next time.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network for the second half of this WPIAL Exhibition Week 0 matchup between the Kiski Area Cavaliers and the visiting Butler Golden Tornado. Kiski able to score there with 23.5 seconds left in the first half. 5-yard touchdown run by Logan Johnson. The difference right now in the opening kickoff. Mark, take it away.
That's Dom Donito. Picked the ball up at the 19-yard line. Was able to cross the 25 up to the 26, 27-yard line. We got the first look at the Kiski Cavalier return team. That was Matt Hilty and Dom Donino back to receive. As I said, Donino with about an 8-yard return up to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I think if you're Kiski right now, putting another touchdown on the board would be a really deflating blow to Butler. So let's see what kind of drive the Cavaliers come up with to open the second half.
Looks like Logan Johnson is in the gun. That's Braden Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson, a little spinning handoff to Hepler, and he is going to lose a couple yards on the play. That was a weird handoff.
Yeah. And we've seen a couple of those.
As I said, just didn't look clean there.
Yeah.
It's almost a 360 pirouette by Logan Johnson. And indeed, the Cavaliers will lose 2 on the play. 2nd and 12 from the 25.
Got one score update at halftime. And another game here on High Top Sports Network. Central Valley Warriors up 49-0 on the Knock Knights. So tough week 0 opener for Coach Mowry and the Knights against the defending state champs.
Logan Johnson takes a snap. Quick pass to Hilty. It's tipped in the air. Incomplete. Again, if you were with us in the first half, hard to see the numbers on the Butler side. I want to say that was Charles Kreinbucker, but not 100%. Quick pass over to Hilty was tipped, and it's 3rd and 12.
Well, I'll tell you what, I thought it was hard to see when the sun was going down. It's a little harder even now to see with these lights on those white uniforms with the gold numbers for the Golden Tornado. Definitely tough.
I was thinking the same thing. I thought we'd maybe have better luck here in the second half, but like you said, it's a little tougher to see it now.
3rd and 12 from 25. That's Johnson in the gun. 3 wide to his right, 1 to his left. Looks to his right, rolls to his right, and pressure on the play, again by Charles Kreinbucker, and Johnson hits the dirt.
Kreinbucker is known for his abilities as a tight end, but made a couple nice plays on that drive defensively.
Logan Johnson down on the play. He wasn't hit. Looked like he almost stumbled trying to avoid the tackle, but he is down on the field.
And another score update here on High Top Sports Network. After a scoreless first period at Freeport, the Armstrong Riverhawks are up on the Jackets right now, 27-14.
Wow.
So the points have started to come there after initially nothing in the first quarter.
Yeah, we talked about, or at least I mentioned briefly, the high-powered offense by the Riverhawks, and certainly they're showing it there, I would assume, with that many points. But Freeport hanging tough.
Yeah, Freeport's got some good weapons as well. Garrett King back after that courageous battle with testicular cancer that cost him the 2020 season. Ben Lane, just a tremendous all-around weapon. Cole Charlton, tall, tight end, wide receiver, hybrid type player. So they got some guys that can get it down the field, but Olsen, I'm sure, showing off that arm tonight because it's definitely running back by committee at Armstrong.
Just a little tidbit of information. Lane and Olsen played on an AAU basketball team together. So I got to watch those two guys for about 5-6 years on the basketball court.
They're not too bad at that either.
Not too bad at that either.
Exactly.
You're exactly right.
Well, I talked to Ben Lane a little bit before the season, and they also played 7-on-7 together. So he said he was looking forward to hopefully getting a pick off of his former teammate on the hardwood and on the football field.
Here's Kiski, 4th and 18 from the 18. That is Dykes back to punt on his own 4-yard line. Gets the kick away, a little wobbly. Bounces at the 49, rolls inside the 45, where it's corralled by Eddie Coleman at the 43-yard line.
Big stop there for Butler, 3 and out, first possession of the second half. Now they have good field position. See if they can take advantage of it here.
So Butler will take over 1st and 10, from the, 43-yard line. Talk about the lack of scoring or the lack of offense in the first half. Again, this ball here around midfield is going to be important in the field position battle.
For sure.
If Butler can get a little bit of a push here, pin Kiski back, or try to get on the board and narrow this 7-0 deficit.
Yeah, good starting field position for the Golden Tornado here, so they need to crack a good play here and get deep into Kiski territory, a place they haven't been much today.
Cooper Baxter in the backfield. That's Baxter at quarterback. He takes the direct snap, and he is swallowed it up. Brock Wilkins.
Didn't hear a whistle, but there it is.
Yeah,
man.
They're going to mark him down.
Brock Wilkins immediately in on the play. Ball came out, but it was on the ground. That is a loss of 4 on the play, or along 3. 2nd down.
Yeah, great closing speed right there by Wilkins. Able to wrap up Baxter and just throw him to the ground.
Keep your eye on Dunmeyer here at the middle linebacker position. Looked like he might have got a little bit of a cramp in his right leg. He was coming up slow, was kind of tapping himself there. He's gonna have a fortunate break because Butler's gonna call a timeout.
Yeah, they did him a favor there.
He did, or it did.
Yeah.
So first timeout here in the second half, 9:19 remaining in the third quarter. Kiski leads 7-0.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen much of tonight is the cramps. And it seems like both of these teams are pretty adequately hydrated and have been throughout the week to stay cramp-free for the most part. I don't really recall maybe one so far in this game, but
That is something you do sometimes see. First game of the season, hot night, But like you said, to your point, only once it's happened, so.
And we're not certainly the premier athletes that they are, but just sitting here in the booth, you could feel how hot it is.
Yeah.
So to your point, it seems like something minor, but it's definitely something to watch for the first few weeks of football every year. You're not used to playing football in 85, 90-degree heat.
And it's just 10 degrees hotter down there on that turf, too. So.
Correct. So here's Butler, 2nd and 13 from the 40. That is Baxter again. Looks to pass, and it's intercepted. That's intercepted by Chad Hepler. Hepler inside the 20, down to the 10-yard line.
Boy, Hepler jumped that route, took it, stumbled a little bit. Otherwise, he might have taken that one to the house. And speak of the devil, I think somebody is down with a cramp right now. Mark.
Might have jinxed that one there.
Yeah, really.
But still, nice play by Hepler there to get the interception.
Baxter took the direct snap, rolled to his right. Looked like he had a receiver a few yards down the field, but Hepler came out of nowhere, snatched the ball, and rumbled inside to the 10-yard line.
It looked, too, like the quarterback maybe pumped real quick, kind of hesitated a little bit, and then that was all the time Hepler needed to recover on that receiver and take it the other way.
Just enough for Hepler to slip in there and give the Cavaliers their third possession inside the red zone.
There might be 2 guys down.
I was just thinking that, John. It looks like Hepler might be down with a cramp, too. It kind of looked after he made that pick, as he went to turn on the Jets, kind of stumbled a little bit and might have jumped up and grabbed him.
Yeah.
And got 2 Cavaliers down right now, but definitely both look heat-related.
I'm guessing that is Braden Dunmeyer. I thought it was Brock Wilkins at first, but I see him in the huddle on the sideline. It looked like it came from the linebacker position, so my guess is Braden Dunmeyer. And we talked about him right before that play. I said it looked like he was holding his leg, and hopefully it is just a cramp. He's taking some water while laying there. He's moving, so hopefully nothing too serious. On the opposite side, there's Hepler. He's up and walking, but he is definitely wobbling.
That's the cramp walk. We've all done it. If you've played sports, you know it.
He's got to go the whole way across the field.
Oh, yeah, the worst. He's trying to stretch it. You can see it right there. He's trying to stretch it as he's walking. but making a game-changing play possibly with that pick, going deep into Butler territory.
And indeed, it is Braden Dunbar that was down, and he's got the same, what did you call it?
The cramp walk. It's like a waddle almost. You're trying to stretch it as you're walking.
So the Cavaliers will take over from the, it looked like he got inside the 10, but they're going to mark it at the 11. And that is Logan Johnson at quarterback again for the Cavaliers. Wilkins in the backfield. Hilty split far wide on the right, Heinley on the left. And we have flags. Was it a false start on the Cavaliers offense?
Yeah, I think they're walking back, and that is
Indeed
the
it
call.
was.
Good eye there, Mark. Just got the update here from Freeport. 34-14 now, Armstrong at the half. And Joe Rhodes on the call for that one, and he just texted me and said, game moving very slowly because of cramping. So it's affecting everybody out here on a sticky August night here in western Pennsylvania.
So they thought we were messing around when we talked about the cramping, and immediately we saw 2 here. We're getting reports.
Yeah,
from
we're
other
getting reports
games.
from Freeport.
So
I did see Josh texting Joe say, hey, talk about the cramping at Freeport. So.
So, you know, we kind of chuckle about it, but it is. It's something that even these kids that are used to being out in the heat and practicing, and until you're playing in the games and really getting your body conditioned, it's something that you have to be aware of. And I don't know how big of sports fans you guys are, the people that are watching us, but we've seen high-profile athletes like LeBron James have to be carried off in NBA Finals games. I mean, when you cramp up, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. And it looks like, I think maybe Butler called a timeout here just to maybe for that same issue.
I didn't see a signal on the play.
Yeah, got to get those fluids in, you know, especially on a day like today. And this is the first game of the season, so the adrenaline's firing even extra. And it's the perfect storm right there. The heat, humidity, your adrenaline, everything like that. They're not in game shape yet. And guys going down right and left. So
my guys running the scoreboard here said that Kiski called the timeout.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that'll be their first of the second half. After the false start penalty, the Cavaliers will be faced with 1st and 15 from the 16-yard line. So they can get the first down just inside the 2. That's Logan Johnson and Brock Wilkins in the backfield. Wilkins on the right. Here's Johnson, takes a snap, immediately fires up the middle, across the 15, down to about the 14-yard line.
yeah, he's about at the 7, I think.
Excuse me, thank you. I was just doing my math there.
Yeah, we're not math guys.
I was said, well, he started at the 16. That was a bigger run than 2. So yeah, my fault there. Started on the 16, and indeed he was inside the 10. So down to the 8, brings up a 2nd and 7.
Did good to get that penalty yardage back there.
Yeah.
So 3 players in the backfield for Kiski: Johnson, Wilkins, and I couldn't see who the lead blocker was, but that's Wilkins, who drives his way toward the goal line. No signal.
Wow, I thought he was in. And officials saying 3rd down right now. So that one's got to be kissing the goal line.
Oh, yeah.
That was Deshaun McBride in the backfield. We saw him for the first time leading the way as Wilkins short of the goal line, but did pick up that first down. So 1st and goal from about the half-yard line.
I mean, obviously the officials on the goal line have a better view than we did, but I thought that ball got stretched into the end zone.
Kept watching to see. He kind of looked like he was hesitating there, the official was. But
Johnson directs. Well, it's a handoff to Wilkins. He goes over the top.
Oh, got it that time.
A little bit of trickeration we saw early on from Butler with the flea flicker. Johnson took the snap. Looked like he was going to take it himself. took a step or two, then hand off to Wilkins, and he's able to jump over the pile, and Kiski extends their lead to 13-0.
Well, as I said, when Kiski took over here to start the second half, I said, you get a touchdown on your first drive of the second half. Boy, that's really a deflating blow to Butler. Well, second drive, and still could be the same result.
Here's Cody Dykes on to attempt his second extra point of the game. Hold down by Heinley. The kick is up, and it is good. Kiski Area extends their lead to 14-0 here in the third quarter, 7:50 remaining.
Well, that's what happens. You turn turnovers into points. And Kiski has done that today. Now up 2 touchdowns, and Butler's going to have to start trying to go down the field. You can't do those short passes. You can't run inside. That stuff's not going to work at this point in the game. You haven't gotten deep. You haven't really threatened to score yet. You're going to have to try and open it up if you are Coach Eric Christie's Golden Tornado squad.
You got to think they're going to look to target Kreinbacher here. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the first half. Akron recruit, tight end. You're talking about passing the ball here. He's their best pass-catching threat and option, so I'm sure they're going to be targeting him.
Kiski, they make it tough on the defensive side. Coach Albert loves to blitz some more. And certainly they stress, stopping the run. So it does make it very difficult for the opposing offenses to kind of sit back there and pick the secondary apart. So to your point, we saw Butler trying to air it out early, couldn't connect on some of the longer passes. But as you said, the short stuff isn't working either. So it'll be interesting to see what Butler tries here as they await the kickoff from Cody Dykes.
Yeah, 7:50 left in the third, and, time is a-wasting if you're Butler.
Dykes approaches the ball, and it's a high kick inside the 5 at about the 3. Return to the 15, the 20, breaks a tackle, across the 25, up to the 27-yard line. That is number 4, Isaiah Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly broke a couple tackles there after initial contact and able to get positive yardage there almost to the 30-yard line. Butler going to start at the 28. A very crucial drive here in the third quarter.
About a 24-yard return by Kelly. And Butler will take over. It looks like that is Schnorr at quarterback. Indeed, that is. He's under center. Wide receiver to each side. Motion. Fake handoff. That Schnorr rolls to his right. Fires. I don't know if he missed long or missed short. He had 2 receivers there on the right side, and it fell in between the both.
It did, yeah.
He had Charles Kreinbacher there, and I couldn't see who the deep receiver was.
I'm trying to see his number. It's
maybe number 11 or number.
It's a
15,
1
very
something.
difficult.
Yeah, maybe 13.
I'm thinking 15, but
nonetheless, the pass falls incomplete, and it's 2nd and 10. Here's Schnorr. Handoff across the 30, up to the 35, to the 37. That is Cooper Baxter.
Yeah, decent run there by Baxter, just kind of following his blockers and taking that angle to the outside. And we got another player down here with
2 more,
cramp.
1 on each side.
Oh, man alive.
I hopefully didn't put the hex on him.
Oh, we definitely spoke it into
did.
existence.
We talked about how there was none, and then all of a sudden we've had 4 or 5 here in the last few minutes. Again, hate the
Official timeout, yeah.
I think we called it something to watch for it. I think it's been a little bit more than that.
Well, we've been watching it, that's for sure.
Pretty prevalent.
So Baxter able to get some positive yards for Butler. When we return to action, it will be, looks like 3rd and 2 from the 37.
Yeah, while we have a moment here, while players are being tended to on the field, John, I want to give a shout out to a guy you're pretty familiar with, the Kiski legend here, Greg Hutcherson.
Okay, yeah.
You're former head coach
Yeah.
at Armstrong boys basketball.
Yeah.
You were Hutch's lead right-hand man, so I saw you chatting with Hutch over there.
Yeah, it was good to chop it up with Hutch a little bit at halftime. I haven't seen him in a couple years, so great guy, Kiski alum, you know. So.
Is there a place where he's not a legend?
You know, I don't think so. You know, that's true. You know, that's a good point there, Mark.
No matter where you go, I think it's safe to find somebody that knows a Hutcherson.
Uh-huh.
So Butler, that was a QB sneak.
Yeah, tried to do the quick count right there on the Cavaliers defense, right coming out of that official timeout for the cramping. And Butler lined up quickly and pushed forward, and I think it might be enough for a first down.
The refs are signaling first down. Again, apologize. It's tough to see those numbers. I wasn't able to see who the quarterback was on that one. I think it was Schnorr. Not 100%, but
yeah,
Butler.
I believe it was.
Butler crossed the first down marker. 1st and 10 from the 39. Schnorr is back there under center again. 2 wide receivers to his left. Motion to the right. Schnorr rolls to his right. Fires down the field, and that is caught. That is Lance Slater. Down to the 30-yard line. Schnorr to Slater.
Well, LeBrin Smith got caught right there, I'll tell you. He was just kind of running stride for Slater and not really looking back for the ball. And Slater then turned on the Jets because he knew the ball was coming toward him and able to make a nice over-the-shoulder catch. And Smith finally rode him out of bounds, but that's the big play that Golden Tornado had needed to get on the Kiski side of the field, and now they got some momentum, a couple first downs in a row, Mark.
Big play by Butler. And they take over again, first down. Handoff, inside handoff goes nowhere. Looks like Cooper Baxter. He was swallowed up by several blue jerseys.
And the Beef. Haven't called his name since the first half there after making a similar stop in the backfield, but he blew that play up. Made a good tackle.
Wilkins and Dunmeyer also in on the play. So no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 32. Here's Schnorr under center again.
Oh, it's going to be on Kiski. Little encroachment there, I believe.
It looked like Sam Coleman off the right side. And indeed, it was on the Cavaliers. So that'll shorten it up for the Golden Tornado.
This is just about as deep as the Golden Tornadoes have been all night into Kiski territory. So obviously a critical couple plays here coming up for them.
Yeah, we saw them earlier in the first quarter get right around this area of the field. But, yes, this is the best drive for Butler so far.
Oh!
To Slater. And he is hit immediately by Braden Dunmeyer.
Boy, Dunmeyer laying the wood right there. And, I mean, he put everything he had into it and then immediately down to the field. I'm sure that is that cramp again, jumping up like a rattlesnake and biting him on that calf, or it looks like a calf they're working. But, I mean, he put everything into that hit, a huge tackle by Dunmeyer.
Well, they don't call him Stick for nothing.
Yeah, well.
That's his nickname from, I believe, freshman year.
That is what he just did right there.
So as they attend to Braden Dunmeyer on the field, let's get you caught up. 14-0. Kiski leads, 5:47 to go. Butler will be faced with a third. It looks like 6, a long 6, short 7.
See, this is why we leave the band on at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Just got a text from my mother. She said, wow, Kiski's band is awesome, with all kinds of crazy emojis that I don't recognize.
Shout out to Mom.
Yeah, shout out to Mom. She watches every game on High Top Sports
Mom,
Network.
the meatloaf.
Yes, exactly. Never know what she's doing up there. She's watching High Top.
That's good. That's what she is doing back there. Good call. Now we know.
Interesting to point out your mom thought the best part of the show so far was when you weren't talking.
Haven't gotten a compliment on my work. Shouting
Just
out the
kidding.
Kiski band, though.
Well, I haven't met his mother yet, so that's understandable.
Just kidding, Deb.
So Dunmeyer able to get back to his feet. Again, looked like just some cramping.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the second time he hit the ground. The cramp walk.
He's mad.
I'm going to add that to my vocabulary.
Yep, right down. Going to have to roll it out.
Yep.
He's annoyed that he has to come off the field more than anything. That's kind of what I got out of that body language.
After making such a nice play.
Yeah. Stick.
Stick.
So 3rd and 7 from the Kiski 29. This is Schnorr under center. One wide receiver to his right. Isaiah Kelly in motion. Schnorr looking to pass, fires it to the front corner. In and out of the hands. Was that Kelly or Slater?
Not sure. We're going to have to watch that. Oh, man.
Wow.
What an effort. And that ball was just about 6 inches too long.
I think it was Slater.
Great diving attempt there by Slater.
That would have been, we saw it, a very, very impressive effort by Logan Johnson on the Kiski side. That would have been equally impressive there, as Schnorr just missed Lance Slater right on the goal line.
I mean, he fully laid out for that.
Wow.
There was
So
another receiver on that play, too, that also had a step. So
Yeah, I agree.
missed
Yeah.
opportunity there for the Golden Tornadoes.
So down 14-0 with 5:27 in the third quarter. Butler lined up to go for it, and there's a timeout by the Golden Tornado.
Well, this is a huge play for Butler right now. 4th and 7, down 14-0, time ticking away. Just under 5.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. So they got to draw up their best play right now. And, John, like you said, their receivers have been able to get a step on the Kiski secondary.
Yeah, and it's, just a missed opportunity there. It's kind of been the theme we saw in the first play of the game. The Butler receiver they were in that flea flicker, like you said earlier, Mark. They had a step, so just unable to connect. And I think, it's a lot of the week 0 stuff, but, good defense, too, getting pressure on the quarterback from Kiski. So.
Yeah, that's an excellent call. The flea flicker, and then I believe it was a play or two later, same thing. They had a wide receiver coming down the sideline, LeBrin Smith. The receiver got past LeBrin Smith on that play. So you are correct. Butler has aired it out several times today and just misfired on a few of them, or this score could be a little bit different.
Wow, I just saw the most backflips I've ever seen in a row right down here by one of the Kiski cheerleaders. It was over 20 because they were counting them out. And she's getting some well-deserved love from her teammates.
The last time I remember watching her do that, I think it was 17.
Oh, she was over 20 right there.
It's very impressive. She does that on the basketball court as well. So back to the action. Butler lined up for the play out of the timeout.
Oh, man.
And it looked like Isaiah Kelly jumped from his wide receiver position. So Butler was faced with a tough 3rd and 7, which will be a little bit more difficult now. 4th and 7 will be a little more difficult. 4th and 12.
Yeah, not what you want. You take a timeout, you come out, you line up, false start. And it's been kind of the story for the Golden Tornado. Some unforced errors tonight really costing them, especially when they get on the Kiski side of the field.
So here's Schnorr. Fires deep down the middle. Off the hands of, was that Kelly?
Well, he
or
was
was
looking,
that, Lance Slater?
I don't know, but LeBrin Smith right there making up for a couple of miscues. Perfect coverage, got his head around, went up, did not contact the Butler receiver. I'm not sure if it was Slater, but LeBrin Smith, great play in coverage right there, able to break it up without drawing a flag in the end zone. And the Cavaliers going to take over on downs.
Yeah, really nice play by Smith there, because that was a good ball from Schnurr there, the quarterback of Golden Tornadoes. So.
Took the words right out of my mouth. They had one-on-one coverage, and Schnurr put it right on the money. Jump ball, and the Cavaliers were able to hold. So the offense will come out on the field. 1st and 10 from their own 34. 5:19 remaining in the third quarter. Looking to extend their 14-0 lead. Logan Johnson, shotgun. Looks to his right, pump fakes, goes deep down the right sideline, and just outside of the hands of a diving Calvin Heinley.
And I'll tell you what, Dylan Hutcherson was also open down the field right there. I mean, Johnson had his pick of 2 wide receivers open deep and just missed Heinley.
You talk about Hutcherson, that is Greg's son there coming to the sideline, emphatic to the coaches.
Yeah, he said,
saying the same
man,
thing. That was me.
I'm open.
I was there.
Good pump fake, though, by Johnson to kind of freeze the secondary of Butler. And Heinley and Hutcherson both getting behind it there, just couldn't connect.
So Heinley out to the left, Hilty to the right, handoff to Wilkins. That's the same play we saw on the touchdown run, where it looked like Logan Johnson was going to take it himself, did a little spin, and handoff to Wilkins, and here comes the Cramp Monsters again.
Well, there's 2 down.
Does seem like it gets 2 whenever it gets
Yeah.
1 the last couple
It looks
of times.
the first one was Wilkins, and I want to say that was Hilty closest to us, but not 100%. Wilkins was the first one down after the tackle. You could see him talking about the cramping, and it's tough to see the other number. Well, it's not Hilty because he's standing by the player down, so it was a single digit, maybe Carter Dilts. But nonetheless, trainer's back out on the field.
Well, they're earning their money tonight. I hope they don't cramp up. If they're out on the field, seems like every other play.
.503 remaining in the third quarter. The Cavaliers lead 14-0. Butler was driving, we think, in the deepest part of Cavalier territory for the game. An unfortunate couple penalties, miscues, and they were unable to put any points on the board. And Kiski took the ball and a couple plays, and here we go. Get ready for a 3rd and 6. Indeed, that was Carter Dilts down on the ground.
Yeah, Dilts and Wilkins both coming off here for this play.
So Logan Johnson will be in the gun. That's Hepler behind him. Got Ed Coleman here split to the right, nearest to us. And it looks like Heinley and Hilty on their fire side. Excuse me, Hutcherson and Hilty. Logan Johnson looks to throw, runs up the middle, and he will gain maybe 2, but well short of the first down.
Well, there was a good blitz pickup there by Chad Hepler, but Butler rush a little too strong right there, forced Johnson out of the pocket, and he took off and couldn't escape that time.
So quick 3 and out, and Butler will have a chance to get back on the field as Cody Dykes gets set to punt it away. Looks like, is that Schnorr back to receive the punt, and number 28, Landon Lacey. That's Schnorr.
Oh, boy.
Looked like he was going to pick it up, and indeed it did. He fell on it. Took a Kiski bounce around the 26-yard line, inside the 20, down to about the 18 is where Butler will take over.
Well, that's how you get to be a all-conference punter right there. Basically sent 2 receivers back there. He just boomed a line drive right down the middle. Miscommunication between the Butler receivers, kick returners, and the ball took a great hop, Kiski hop for sure, all the way back down to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, quick flip of field position right there in the favor of the Cavaliers.
1st and 10 from the 18. Butler takes over, trailing 14-0 with 4:06 in the third quarter. I believe that's Baxter now in the backfield. Takes a snap, looks to his left, dumps it off to his right. It looked to be caught by Kreinbucker, but incomplete.
Yeah, 2nd down now. Ruled incomplete there after that short pass got knocked away. And that's not going to get it if you're Butler right there. I mean, you can't expect a guy to take a pass right there and make 11 Cavaliers miss.
Well, you can see they're trying to get Kreinbucker involved, but to your point, a 2-yard little out, the way Kiski plays defense, it's going to be a tough answer for a Butler offense. And here's Baxter again, another quick screen. Caught at the 15. Maybe got her 2-yard line or 2 yards to get up to the original line of scrimmage. Again, quick pass, quick short pass, but nothing doing, no gain.
Well, both those defensive linemen, you got Brandon Lawhorn Moore, the beef. He got a hand on him, and then Sammy Coleman came in and cleaned it up right there. Both defensive linemen in on that play, trying to create some misdirection, cut it back against the grain, and Kiski D-line right there to scoop it up.
Baxter, pressured on both sides, is able to escape up the middle, but he is hit by Braden Dunmeyer and several other Cavalier defenders. And again, he's able to get up to the original line of scrimmage, maybe gain 1, but not much doing for Butler, and they will be forced to punt yet again.
Well, those are the toughest yards that he's going to gain all day. I mean, really, 5-6 guys hitting him.
In the backfield.
Yeah, in the backfield, just trying to force it forward, barely past the original line of scrimmage.
Matthew Hilty back to receive the punt for the Cavaliers, just inside his own territory. Is that Isaiah Kelly punting? Hard to see the number.
Yep, number 4.
Hilty calls for the fair catch. And indeed, the fair catch is made at the 48-yard line, and that's where the Cavaliers will take over with 2:23 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, good field position right here for the Cavaliers. Looks like they're going to give it to him on the 47. I thought it was a little further back than that, but a favorable spot here for Kiski. Going to take over on the 47, and you got to think another touchdown right here. That might just put it away.
Yeah, the way Butler's offense has been moving the ball tonight, 3 scores is going to be pretty tough for them.
Logan Johnson's in the shotgun. Receivers on each side. He hands off to Wilkins. Wilkins hit at the original line of scrimmage, and he falls his way forward for a gain of 2.
Yeah, and on the flip side, John, right here, Kiski can start really bleeding the clock. They're already up a couple of scores. Even the worst-case scenario, a turnover that leads to a touchdown, you're still up a touchdown. So right now they can just start pounding the clock out. But you got to get first downs. 2 yards a carry is not going to cut it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and absolutely. And then, the more their offensive line leans on these guys, the later in the game it gets, the tougher it gets to bring these running backs down.
Logan Johnson looks to his sideline, calls out the signals, takes a snap, hand off again to Wilkins. Wilkins across the 40, slides his way down to the 37-yard line.
Now
Close to the first down, excuse me.
No, I was going to say now 8 yards a carry will do it. And that's just about
just short there.
What Brock Wilkins picked up on that rush attempt. It's third and a really, really short one here for the Cavaliers.
2 solid runs by Wilkins as the Cavaliers face a 3rd and 1 from the Butler 38 with just under a minute remaining in the third quarter. Johnson takes the ball, hands off to Wilkins again, and Wilkins slides his way up to the 35-yard line, enough for a Cavalier first down.
And that's big right there. You get those first downs, and that really, really allows you to just take the air out of the ball. And boy, oh boy, it's going to be really tough for Butler. I think, going into the fourth quarter here, down a couple of touchdowns. And if Kiski's able to, keep moving the chains consistently, and if they punch one more in, that'll just about do it.
Yeah, they're not in a hurry here, Kiski. So
about 11-second difference between play clock and game clock, 20 seconds and counting. So Kiski will have to run a play here. Logan Johnson takes the snap, handoff. Nope. Tried to hand off to Hepler. Hepler could not receive it. looked like it bounced off his arm, his forearm. And fortunately, Logan Johnson was able to fall for it, and that'll be the last play of the third quarter. So Kiski will be faced with a 3rd and I believe 12 as we take it into the start of fourth quarter, 14-0 Cavaliers.
Yeah, and I'm going to take us to a commercial break here, another custom commercial created by High Top Sports Network. If you or someone you know is a local business owner and wants to sponsor High Top Sports Network and help us continue to bring coverage to Kiski area athletics, check out this commercial for Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, and feel free to get in touch.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Catanic store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Welcome back to Richard Diltz Field. We are set for a 2nd down play by the Cavaliers, 2nd and 13 from the 38. That's Logan Johnson. Takes it from shotgun, runs up the middle, and it looks like it's going to be a no gain. I believe Johnson was able to get to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, looking like maybe 3rd and 10 and a half, maybe.
Yeah. Play clock's not running here.
Oh, just...
So while we have a second, let's give a shout out. It's kind of nice to see the fans on the chat room.
Yeah.
One of Kiski's #1 fans, Ryan Chepkevich.
Yeah, Ryan immediately contacted us whenever we announced this game, and he's been giving a lot of love to the Cavaliers on our social media platform. So big shout out to Ryan Chepkevich.
Also want to give a heads up to everybody. Football fans, KVL, our local youth organization, will be playing their first home games tomorrow down at Davis Field.
Nice.
All day long, you can come out and see the next generation of Cavaliers. 4 games tomorrow down at Davis Field. A lot of good food and a lot of good football. So come out to Davis Field tomorrow and enjoy the next generation of your Kiski Cavaliers.
Sounds like a perfect way to spend a Saturday. Food and football.
You get the little guys, the 5- and 6-year-olds playing flag football first, all the way up to what would be current or soon-to-be middle schoolers in your final game. So a lot of good football.
And those kids that age strap on the pads, correct?
The earliest level they play flag,
right.
So just a little helmet. But then the next 3 levels, yeah, it's full contact, full football.
Nice.
3rd and 10. Or a short 11, however you want to phrase it. Logan Johnson has 3 wide receivers. It's going to be a quick toss to Hepler. Hepler breaks a tackle and another, or eludes a tackle, and gets up to the 30-yard line. Hepler, with some slick running there, was able to sideswipe a few would-be tacklers and brings up a 4th and 5.
Yeah, slick footwork there by Hepler. Able to, like as you said, Mark, elude a couple of tacklers. Really didn't break them, just kind of eluded them with those slick feet. Picked up about 6.
We're in that dead zone that we talked about early on in the game where it's a little too far away to kick a field goal and probably a little too short to punt. So the Cavaliers are going to go for it on 4th and 5. Hindley split far out on left. That's Hilty a little more inside. Johnson's looking to his left. Avoids a tackler, avoids another one, still going. Makes a move at the 35 inside the 33, but he's going to be well short of a first down. Logan Johnson looked like he had Hilty in the slot, but great coverage down the field. He tried to make some things work, eluded 3 or 4 would-be tacklers, but great job by the Butler defense, and they still hanging around, 14-0.
Yeah. Butler really had to have that stop right there.
Yeah.
Kind of, time-wise and score-wise to have any chance to get back here.
Right, early here in the fourth quarter, 11:03 remaining, Butler trailing 14-0. To your point, this would be a huge drive if they are able to put some points on the board. This is Baxter, I believe, that keeps the ball and is able to get to the 37-yard line. That was Cooper Baxter.
Well, as long as the Cavaliers can keep Baxter or whoever might be running the ball for Butler in front of them and not let up, a play to the house. I mean, there's really no way you can continue to run the ball and get those 2 touchdowns back here, and just 10:38 left in the fourth quarter.
Carter Diltz hobbled off the field for the Cavaliers. Stretching on the sideline.
Cramp walk.
2nd and 5 from the 37. Baxter runs the ball, and he is tackled by Brock Wilkins. Baxter, it looked like he wanted to throw, but that was a designed run, and he is across the 40, almost to the 41, and 3rd and 2. The last few drives have been Cooper Baxter at the quarterback. Looked like he wanted to run in the middle, pitch to his left. Running back was able to try to get the outside, and then it looked like he was able to cut back inside, but great play by the Cavalier defense right at the first down line.
And I think he's short.
I agree with you.
Well, I looked at the head official, and he's signaling first down from the backfield, and I'm not sure why. I can't see the number of who ran that ball for Butler, but I'm not sure why he would have cut it back right there. Just keep pushing forward.
There, yeah. Cut it back.
Yeah, he was going to the outside, and it looked like he had the corner. He stopped, and then it looked like he had the inside, and didn't commit to either one. But as you said, a good spot by the officials, and indeed that is a first down. I thought he was short as well on the play, but the officials were on top of it, and they gave him enough.
Yeah, but you've already taken a minute and a half off this clock right here if you're Butler for all of 10 very hard-earned yards against this Kiski defense.
Yeah, the previous play, I looked at the yard marker, and they had to get to the 42 for the first down, and the nose is touching that ball. The nose was touching the line. That's Baxter again. Around the 50-yard line.
A decent run there by Baxter. You're going to pick up 6 or 7, probably 7 on that run. But again, that clock just continuing to wind, and you got to figure, even if you do put together a scoring drive right now, Kiski's going to just kneel on, maybe not kneel on the ball, but take the air out of the ball for sure.
You would think too, Butler might have a little bit more urgency.
Right.
Here in between plays.
I was about to say, Kiski, I'm sure, is happy with this pace and the way this drive is going right now. That's Cooper Baxter, and he's going to lose yards, maybe 1. Tackled by Dunmeyer and Hepler.
Yeah, Hepler, I think, got to him first into the backfield there quickly.
We'll call it a no gain. 3rd and a short 3. Just shy of midfield. Butler needs to get to the Kiski 48 for a first down. So long 2, short 3, 3rd down. 8:25 remaining. Kiski leads 14-0. Here's Baxter. Looks to his right. Quick pass. And it is tipped. by Brock Wilkins.
And I'll tell you what, Wilkins, I mean, that's a perfect defensive play. Stick the hand out, knock the ball down to the turf. But you know what? He's grabbing his helmet thinking, I had time to get both hands out there and maybe make a chance at an interception.
Yeah, he wanted that one.
Surprising play call from Butler there. Cooper Baxter, I mean, obviously he isn't lighting it up running the ball, but he's been able to get positive yards.
Sure.
Had, as we said, a short 3, long 2, and they elect to go for the pass.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yep, so here's Baxter again from 4th and 2. Let's see what they go with. And this time it's a pitch to the outside, and it's not going to work.
Nope.
It's not going to work. The Kiski defense is able to stop them again.
Brock Wilkins called his name a bunch on the defensive side of the ball today. First one in there, first contact, and blew that play up. Butler going to turn it over on downs here in just over 8 minutes. 8:09 left, fellas, and boy, oh boy.
That was Wilkins, you're right, on the first, and I believe it was Logan Johnson that came in at the end to secure the tackle. But, again, I got to question that 3rd down play call. If you know you're going to go for it on 4th,
yeah,
take
why not
2
run?
shots with Baxter
You
up
just
the
ran
middle.
7 plays in a row.
Correct. So, fortunately for Kiski, or good fortune for Kiski, as their defense comes up with 2 big stops, and the offense takes over 1st and 10 from the 48 with 8:09 remaining.
Well, they've been excellent tonight. Defensive line has been tremendous. Linebackers, obviously a very veteran, skilled group. They've been great, and whenever, you know, the secondaries had to make a play in coverage, they've made it.
Here's that, I don't know what you'd call it. I don't want to call it a pirouette, but it's a pivot spinning toss. It's kind of an awkward toss play to C.J. Hepler, and it faked out nobody as the Cavaliers lost, looks like 6 yards.
Yeah, 6 or 7
on that run.
Yeah.
Big loss right there. I mean, something you don't want to do if you're the Cavaliers is go backward.
It's almost like they're trying to misdirection. He spins to his right and then comes the whole way around and tosses that. But nothing was doing there for Hepler, and Kiski as a 2nd and 16. Handoff, straight handoff to Wilkins this time, and he is close to the original line of scrimmage inside Butler territory around the 49-yard line.
You know, got that yardage back right there after the big loss on 1st down.
And the thing, too, now it might be a little too early to start calling timeouts, but a lot of these teams had to use timeouts earlier when players were cramping, players were, different situations. Now you might like to have one of those back.
Yeah, for sure.
I know Kiski called one. I can't remember if Butler did
I believe they did.
They
Yeah.
each called one,
Okay.
at least.
So 3rd and 10, maybe 3rd and 11 from the 49. Here's Johnson, shotgun, 3 wide receivers to his right. That's where he's looking. Pressure comes in. He dumps it off to Hilty. Hilty across the 45, now the 40, the 35, the 25, and he is going to go in for a Kiski Cavalier touchdown.
49 yards out of a broken play. Hildy takes it to the house. Excellent running by him after Johnson was able to elude the rush and just dump it off. And right there, you're just looking for a 1st down, but Hildy puts the nail in the coffin.
I don't know if that was a broken play or not. I think that would be interesting to ask the coaches on that one. Certainly, Johnson had some people in the backfield as he was trying to throw, but it was almost like that wide receiver screen that they ran a little earlier.
Yeah. Because there was blocking set up for it. You're right.
Hilty was able to take that ball, nimbly worked his way across the middle, and then put on the Jets down the left sideline. And in for the Cavaliers' 3rd touchdown of the night. Here's Dykes. The snap was a little low. Great job by Carson Heinley to grab it, set it down, and it's 21-0 Kiski lead.
Yeah, you picked that out, Mark. I saw that too. Great job by the younger Heinley to adjust to that snap, get it down for Dykes to put it up through the uprights. 21-0 here. Just 6:19 left.
And again, we talk about little things. We talk about the cramping stuff, but that's a freshman there, and I know him from playing school ball last year. They don't get much opportunities that the set and hold in middle school football. So to come into a varsity game, and he's done it all night, on the field goal attempt and 3 extra points. So go ahead, Carson.
Might be earning himself a little extra work there, huh?
Yeah.
He's, you know, in the Hindley house, I'm friends with the family, and there's a lot of talk that goes on there.
Okay.
You wouldn't expect Carson to get the bragging rights on the Friday night. But
Yeah.
I'd say he earned them.
But there it is.
Calvin is yet to catch a pass tonight, and as I said, he's coming off an injury, but the young Carson definitely earned his money on that one.
Well, you saw Calvin that first play of the game going down the field, and they tossed it up into double coverage, ended up with an interception, and he's been doubled all night. Every route that he's run, he's been doubled.
So Kiski extends their lead to 21-0. 6:19 remaining in the fourth quarter. Dykes setting up for yet another kick. See if he can put one in the end zone here. I know he's been working hard in the offseason, hard for the last couple years to get that ball into the end zone.
He got one to the 2 on his
Yep.
last kickoff.
He's been getting close for sure, and I got reports that he's put a few of them in practice. So here's a high kick. Oh, there it is, inside in the end zone. So great job by Cody Dykes.
Yeah, that was legit, too. That one bounced just over the goal line in the end zone. Didn't bounce in, so you called it there, Mark.
And you can see some of the guys on the sideline. I know my son's also a kicker, and he works with them. Those guys put in a lot of time that you don't see, and that's something real big that Coach Albert stresses. If you watched any of the Cavaliers games the last couple of years, there's been a lot of pooch kicks, a lot of squib kicks. If you can't get in the end zone, we're not giving you an opportunity. So for him to do that, that could be a big weapon for the Cavaliers this year. As you see as the defense plays. That's a lot of yards to give up when the opposing offense is starting at the 20 rather than the 35 or 40. Here's a pass caught at the 35.
That was a heck of a catch right there.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
See
In
that
traffic.
Slater, I believe,
Yes,
kind of boxed out LeBrin Smith right there. Smith caught over the top with his arm, but Slater able to hang on to that one. Nice play.
Yeah, just a nice play by Slater.
Great throw by, is that Schnorr? I believe Schnorr's back on the field.
Yeah, that was Schnorr that threw the football.
Schnorr rolls to his left, nothing downfield, and he slides across the 40-yard line.
Yeah,
Schnorr was looking downfield. Great coverage by the Cavaliers. And it looks like he was able to gain about 3 yards on the play, maybe 4. It's going to bring up second down and roughly 6 from their own 42. 5:19 and counting. Here's a handoff. Across the 45, breaks a tackle up to midfield. Was that Cooper Baxter that took the handoff? Yes, Cooper Baxter. So Baxter gives Butler a first down right at midfield with 5 minutes remaining. Here's Schnorr in the gun. Looks to his left, now to the right, back to the left again. Rolls to his right, fires over the middle. That's caught by number 19, Ethan Treadle. And Treadle works his way down to inside the 30, all the way down to the Kiski area 26. Ethan Treadle getting his first call of the evening.
That was a slippery little move by Treadle there to make that guy miss.
Yeah, after Schnorr rolled out there, hit him in stride too. So that kind of gave Treadle, the momentum going forward to make guys miss that are standing stationary or coming back and trying to tackle them.
Butler no huddle offense, 1st and 10 from the 25. Here's Schnorr, drops off to Baxter, avoids a Wilkins tackle, avoids another tackle by LeBrin Smith, and he is inside the 20. So 2 broken tackles there. Wilkins had a chance to get him right where he caught it, right around the original line of scrimmage, or right at the line. He broke that one, and then LeBrin Smith was unable to corral him. And Butler is inside the 20.
I'll tell you what, Wilkins is leaving it all on the field here tonight. And just a really gutsy performance by him on both sides of the ball.
Timeout Kiski. So as I said, Butler was running a no huddle there. and working their way down the field a good bit. We were talking about Cody Dykes put it in the end zone, so this drive started at the 20, and we're now inside the Kiski 20. With 3:50 remaining, Butler trails 21-0.
Kind of interesting that we haven't seen the no huddle before this drive. I was kind of expecting it maybe the last couple times Butler had the ball.
Yeah, they seem to be successful with it here. Obviously, defensive pressure and positioning is a little different here now. Game 3-score lead here, but
Yeah, kind of like that prevent, leaving the middle of the field kind of open.
yeah,
Just trying to keep guys in front of you, and that's why Treadle was able to make that big play. You know, the middle of the field was kind of open.
Butler's going to have a difficult time settling on their quarterback situation as well, I believe, because we saw Cooper Baxter have some success in the run game, and certainly he can throw it. But here's Schnorr airing it out and putting Butler inside scoring territory. Here's Schnorr again. Flag on the play.
It's going to be encroachment against the Cavaliers, I believe.
Yes, it is. Flag is indeed on the Cavaliers, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Excuse me. That'll move the chains. That was 2nd and 5, so that'll give Butler another first down, and they are inside the 15-yard line. 3:49 remaining. Kiski leads 21-0. Here's Schnorr rolling to his left. He was pressured immediately by Deshaun McBride, and he has to throw it away. Schnorr had no time for that play, was scrambling for his life, got out of the pocket, and just threw it away to bring up a 2nd down.
yeah, he just did his best to not get sacked there.
Good pressure by McBride. We mentioned his name a few times tonight. This is his first starting role of the season, or starting role, I should say, in his career.
Yeah.
He got a tiny bit of time last year. Certainly somebody the coaches have been keeping their eye on. So it's going to be somebody that the Cavaliers look forward to continue growth. Here's a handoff to Cooper Baxter. Baxter dodges the first would-be tackler and is able to move close to the 15, close to the 10, right around the 11-yard line. Gain of 3. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the game. Third down, and the pass is behind a would-be receiver. Is that number 5?
Yeah, too high right there.
Yeah, Charles Kreinbucker.
Trying to get Kreinbucker, who's listed at 6'5", 228, trying to get him involved right there, and that pass was too tall for him, so you know it was upstairs.
So I apologize on the play. The marker was a little slow to turn. That was a 3rd down play, so it brings up 4th and 6 from the 11-yard line with 3:10 remaining. 4th and 6 for Butler. Coaches in our background in the booth yelling, screenplay. And indeed, it looks like it is. Good call by the Kiski coaches.
Yeah.
Very emphatic from their side of the booth.
Heard it through the glass and through the headphones.
Uh-huh.
Great call by the coaching staff. And
Good scouting there.
yeah, good scouting. And Cavaliers had that one sniffed out. So Butler again turning the ball over on downs. Just 3:05 left in this one. And, Mark, I want to say a special thank you to the Kiski concession stand here. Just got some fresh cut fries brought up to us, and looking forward to digging into those. I guess the cheerleaders.
I was going to say, I think that's the cheerleader
We're
side
selling
of the
those
concession
tonight,
stand.
yeah. So special thanks for getting the high top guys some fresh cut fries. Ooh, that rhymes.
Well, you put enough plugs in it early
Yeah,
on.
well, that's what I do when I
Somebody
go to a
heard.
school. I just start talking about the concession stand, and sooner or later you end up with food.
So 3:05 remaining. Kiski leads 21-0. And the Cavalier offense is out on the field at their own 11-yard line. Logan Johnson takes a snap, runs up the middle, and maybe gains 1.
Yeah.
Important thing for the Cavalier offense is he held on to the ball.
Yeah, held on to the ball, got positive yards, didn't try anything, like a jet sweep or anything like that, where you might get blown up like they did on the last series of downs. And, clock just ticking. One more first down, I would think, would do it.
2:30 and counting. Second down and 10. So Johnson was able to get to the line of scrimmage. Here he hands off to Hepler. Hepler approaches the 15-yard line. Off the left side, a gain of roughly 3. And we are now 2 minutes remaining.
Third down and 76 on the scoreboard.
That'd be a less than ideal position to be in.
Yeah, for sure. Now I've run those scoreboards. I know it's just got to keep it going.
It's one of those jobs nobody notices you until you make a mistake.
Right.
It's like a referee.
Yeah.
You're in a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, a good referee, I don't know his name. Well, it looks like Butler uses their final timeout. 1:34 left here in this one.
That was a Kiski timeout.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it looked like.
I thought he pointed that way.
Yeah, me too. I thought the same thing. Asked our trusty scorekeeper here again, and he said, indeed, that was a Kiski timeout. So 1:34 remaining, 21-0. It looks like Kiski's going to take home the first win of the season here in week 0.
Yeah, that's one thing Coach Albert and I talked about yesterday. Last year jumping right into that section schedule just because things were so wacky in 2020. And he said, you know what, I want to use these first 4 games, these first 4 non-section exhibition games to kind of get some confidence for these guys, maybe get a few wins under our belt. And it looks like Cavaliers are well on their way to that first one in 2021.
The Cavaliers will take on Franklin Regional next week at home, while Butler will travel to Erie. Here's a pitch.
The ball was out.
By
yeah,
Johnson.
Butler has it.
Was that a pitch to Hepler? I didn't see who it was.
I'm not sure, but that will not make any of the Kiski coaching staff happy, especially after that big stop on 4th down to get the ball back. And then you could have really just taken it and ended the game, but a turnover right here. And Butler has the ball back inside the Kiski red zone.
Was that Landon Kusick? A freshman? I believe it was. It is, because I see Hepler just walked on the field. So ran a toss play to Landon Kusick, a freshman, inside your own 20-yard line. I understand the game's out of hand, but wow. So Butler will take over from the 16-yard line. 1st and 10. 1:28 remaining. Here's Schnorr. Schnorr with the keeper almost to the 10-yard line. Great tackle by LeBrin Smith.
Yeah, and if you're the Kiski defense right now, you want to preserve that shutout. Just a minute 12 left. Clock running.
And if you're Butler, too, on the other hand, it's the first game of the year. You want to get something positive going into next week. So want to try and punch it in here.
2nd and 6. Here's Schnorr. Rolls to his left. Fires to the left corner. In and out of the hands. Incomplete.
I think that was Kreinbucker, right? I believe that's a 5.
Very difficult. On the coverage, was that Matthew Hilty?
I believe
Yes.
so.
Matt Hilty was a step maybe behind the receiver. It hit his hands, and Hilty was right there on the spot to knock it loose. So great job by the Cavalier defense. Matt Hilty coming up with a big stop in the end zone. 3rd and 6, 48 seconds remaining. Here's Schnorr. Handoff Is that Cooper Baxter? Indeed it is. And Cooper Baxter scores Butler's first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, breaking up the shutout, as we said. Butler finally into the end zone with just 43.3 seconds left in this one.
So it breaks up the stickers on the helmet for the shutout. Defense is going to be, that'll at least give the defensive coach something to yell about here this week. Because up until that point, the Cavalier defense was very strong. And unfortunately for them, they allowed that late second touchdown. That was Cooper Baxter with a 6-yard run. Extra point is up. And it is now 21-7. Kiski's advantage with 43 seconds to go.
Well, you know, there's a onside kick coming right now. And, you know, the defense have really been tremendous all day long for Kiski. And I got put in a bad situation right there after the turnover. You know, Butler taking over around the 15-yard line and just able to get it down there and get it in before regulation time expires.
We've seen Butler have some success in the second half, running the ball, some passes, unable to punch it in. So to your point, you know, the Kiski defense, a little bend but don't break there in the second half, and unfortunately for them, they broke with just under a minute to go. Hopefully it's just a formality at this point with 43 seconds to go. As you said, you expect Butler to come out and attempt an onside kick here, trailing by 14.
Kiski, I'm sure, will bring out the hands team here.
See number 88, freshman Connor Jordan out on the field. Up in the front line, Braden Dunmeyer, Logan Johnson, Eddie Coleman, and I believe Brock Wilkins. Yes, that is your front line. Dom Danino, excuse me.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say LeBrin Smith back deep just in case.
Dom Danino, Dylan Hutcherson, Isaiah Gonzalez, also out on the field for the Cavaliers. Big bunch to the right. Little scoop kick. Flag on the play.
Maybe
is this going to be offsides by the kicking team?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe somebody just ahead of the kick. And I saw Kiski coach down there saying we declined. So
that's the special teams coach that was talking to the referee on the play, or that threw the flag. Wonder if he influenced that call a little bit.
Right there in the ear of the official, so.
Right on top of it. Coach Jimmy Joe. And indeed, the flag is on Butler, so they're going to move back 5 yards. And they're going to make this onside kick a little bit more difficult. They have to get to the 50-yard line. Cavaliers bunched up in the middle and the right side of the field.
Not often you
Here's
see
the attempt.
Sorry.
Bounces at the 47, and again in and out of the hands of a Kiski player. I believe it was Isaiah Gonzalez. No, excuse me, that was Matt Hilty. But he was able to fall on it at the 42, and that should be the ball game.
Yeah, I was going to say, not often you see a kicker with a number in the 60s. That's what Butler had out there. I couldn't see the exact number, but the first number was definitely a 6, and he certainly looked lineman-esque.
So Hilty, trouble with the bouncing ball, and that's certainly what you want when you're attempting onside kick. Get that thing bouncing. But he was able to fall on it, and Kiski will take over 1st and 10 from their 42. 40 seconds remaining, 21-7, the Cavaliers lead. Here's Johnson. The shotgun formation. He will take the knee. And we should have one more play, or is that it?
I'm going to see here. Oh, that should be it.
That is it. That will be it. Play clock at 40. Our time is under that. So in week 0, the Cavaliers defend their home turf and come out with an important or exciting, however you want to phrase it, 21-7 opening season victory.
Yeah, guys, I was really, really impressed with the Kiski defense tonight, really giving Butler fits, not allowing the Golden Tornado to move the ball at all. And we got to pick a player of the game here, so who you guys thinking? I know who I have in my mind.
Well, I'm going to throw out a couple, and then since you guys are the experienced veterans, you maybe narrow it down. Obviously, Brock Wilkins on both sides of the ball, solid plays. But it's hard to pass up C.J. Hepler as well. He had a couple big runs. I'm not sure. Did he score one of the touchdowns? I can't remember,
No,
but he certainly had the interception as well.
Yeah,
so
he had the interception. That was big.
I mean, certainly for me, those two, I wouldn't argue with either of them. If you're going to force me to pick, I'll say, hey, with Chad Hepler coming out of retirement, and for us to be mentioning his name, I'd say I'd have to give it to him.
I would have to agree. Yeah, the interception was a big play in the game, kind of a game changer. So
Crucial turning point, I was going to say, between Hepler and Wilkins, just like you, Mark. So our player of the game today, Chad Hepler, out of retirement, leading these Cavaliers to a season-opening victory in 2021. Thanks so much to Mark Flem for being on the play-by-play. Hope to work together much more this season. Don't know if you want to go on the road to Ohio, but
thanks for having me. It was very exciting. We got to announce the Kiski games last year because of the COVID situation, and certainly was looking forward to it. So I thank you guys for having me. And yeah, I look forward to a great season. It's always fun to be around the Kiski athletes, and it's certainly enjoyable whenever they're putting up victories on the field. So yeah, I look forward to many weeks with you guys.
Excellent. Thanks so much also to John Bowser here providing expert color commentary and tremendous camera work. And I like the crew we got here tonight, guys. I hope we can reform Voltron many times later in this season. Thanks out there to everyone who joined us this evening on High Top Sports Network. And be sure to tune in all season long. You can catch Kiski Area Cavalier football right here on High Top Sports Network, as well as Freeport, Knock, and Armstrong. So got a nice little area chiseled out.
Yeah.
You can check out on High Top Sports Network, I know, pretty soon. Knock and Freeport, I believe, play next week. So, again, we'll have another game with two of our teams featured, just like we did tonight with the Armstrong-Freeport game. But from Dilts Field here, it is a 21-7 victory for the Kiski Area Cavaliers. Thanks again to Mark Flem, John Bowser. Thanks so much to everyone out there for joining us. My name is Josh Schreckengost. We will see you on the flip side.